Good evening, darts fans, and welcome back to the Modus Super Series here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. We've had a brilliant week so far, and 3 names are already in the hat for Saturday night in the Week 3 finals, and we will cement 3 more names into that hat a little bit later on tonight. But as far as this week is concerned, it's been great. But as far as last night is concerned, let's see the highlights from the first day of Group B.
He doesn't need asking twice. That was an excellent... And it might be the only one he gets. Oh, that's a pinch. And he's done that many times this week. He's gone for treble 7 for tops. Of course he has. He's just hit it again.
I've seen that, and it's just giving you that bolster of confidence that you need before you go on the stage.
Double 18. John O'Shea is here to play.
Most players would be scratching their head at that.
Okay, so can the boss get the ball? That is so good.
Just hurt a bit for a while.
It hurts because it matters. Words of Tommy Morris earlier in the week. It matters. Shots like that definitely matter.
Tommy Morris.
That really was a great night's action, wasn't it? As we saw some people put themselves into position to qualify, and with one person at the bottom, he's got a lot to do. But alongside Laura Turner tonight, we will get those names in the hat a little bit later on. But earlier this afternoon in Group C, we had a bit of a dramatic time of it with Lee Cox, with Rhys Robinson, and with Richard Eric Rowlands. What did you make of it?
Yeah, it was. It was really exciting. I think I've got quite a bit of sympathy for Lee Cox. He put himself in a fantastic position yesterday, but the wheels just kind of fell off as he progressed throughout the day. And you know, Richard Rowlands, you've got to take your hat off to him because he came in as the bookies outsider, which was a surprise to most of us, but showed what he can do, and he secured the place.
As far as Rhys Robinson is concerned, he's had such a yo-yo week, but he saved some of his best stuff for this afternoon. Just about got his way through to #1 position and didn't let it go in the end, but did tail off in his last game. But the good stuff was really good, wasn't it?
Yeah, when he was on it, he was really on it. And I think for Rhys, the main thing obviously in Group C is to get through. There's only 2 out of 6. He did that. Yeah, okay, the last game wasn't his best, and actually was Rowland's best really, throughout the tournament. But did what he needed to do, and I think he's got a lot that he can take forward into Saturday night.
Now that he has won this group situation, and we're going to see how the group breakdown for the week looks. Harrison won Group A. Obviously, Rhys has now won Group C, and he has dodged Andreas Harrison in the group stages for Saturday night. Richard Eric Rowlands was the outsider for Group C to win the group, but he has made his way through. But tonight we've got Small, O'Shea, Montgomery, Henderson, and Morris. And somehow we've got to trim that down to 3 players. Alec Small at the bottom of the table does stand a mathematical chance, but do you give him any hope?
I just think it's a really tough ask, especially when you look at how the rest of the field has been playing. A lot of things are going to have to go right, and that includes Alec, getting up on that stage and actually finding his feet, finding his form. So very difficult. But equally as difficult is to pick one of those top 4 that isn't going to make it through to Saturday.
John O'Shea was very impressive last night, wasn't he? He won 3 games out of 3, and then in the last one just tailed off a little bit. But his level of performance, it was good to see him improving as each game went on.
Yeah, we kind of questioned whether some of the players coming in cold were going to be able to kind of live up to expectation. And you can see some of the good stuff John was doing. That 150 checkout, absolutely sublime. As you say, just kind of tailed off maybe on the very last one, but it was still a competitive match. And I think, John's definitely one to watch.
So O'Shea comes into tonight in a very good position with John Henderson, and they will expect to qualify tonight, right?
Yeah, I actually think all 4 will probably expect to qualify. I think it's that kind of group, but just based on what we've seen, I think our expectation maybe that, if we see the same thing, Hendo and O'Shea, they're going to be here on Saturday night.
We'll get some confirmation of the table right here, because you can see that Henderson and O'Shea are level on 6 points, and curiously are level on leg difference for now, but that probably won't count for much after a couple of rounds of play. Tommy Morris has got 3rd position on leg difference ahead of Ross Montgomery, and Alex Small has got it all to do it's a really interesting table coming into day 2.
Yeah, it really is. And obviously with Alec, if he knows he's got a massive job in front of him if he's going to have any chance of getting into those top 3. But what he can do is if he can find his form, he can play that role of spoiler, which he didn't manage to do yesterday. So I think he's definitely one to kind of watch out as the evening goes. Personally, I just think it's too bigger an ask for him. But yeah, for me, I think those top 3, and Ross Montgomery, it's definitely going to be between them.
Well, let's see if the bookies think he's got any chance of getting from 5th to 1st. Well, at 50-1, it is a big outsider, of course. But curiously, what the bookies have got with this order is exactly how it is in our Group B table to date.
Yeah, in fairness, this is my level of sitting on the fence, these kind of odds, because, it is really that difficult to call. But, Ross Montgomery out there at 10-1, he's 2 points off top place. He's 2 legs off 3rd place. It is that tight. There might be a bit of value with him and Tommy Morris, but I'm kind of with the bookies. I think they're just basing that on the form that we've seen so far.
Well, if you are looking for an outsider, I suppose Ross Montgomery is not a bad one to have with all of his experience. He's going to take on Tommy Morris in our first game of the night. And a little bit earlier on, I caught up with the boss to see how he's feeling ahead of day 2. Ross, thanks for joining us here. We're about to get cracking on Friday night. How do you think last night went?
Not as good as I would want it to be, but as I've said here, it's an honour to be invited here, but what happens, happens. If they go, they go. But there was a couple of aspects in my game that I felt I was maybe pulling a little, but as I said, if they go, they go. And it's good quality of experience in that room. And I was saying that to young Alec. He was getting a bit upset with himself, and I said, look, son, I'm just going to say to you what I've said to you. I says, look at the experiences in this room. Don't beat yourself up too much and just enjoy it, because we know he's got the calibre to play well, and we all had to step up and make sure we done our own job against the lad, and it was a pleasure to meet him.
Would it be okay to ask what you think didn't click for you last night?
I just having, I'm not making any excuses in that, but at my age I've got problems with my hands and my elbow, but there's other times it doesn't bother me, and then sometimes it just does. I don't know if it's me in my mind, but I just got on with it, and if it happens, it happens, and I don't try and think about it too much.
Do you think if you produce another 4-point performance tonight that will be enough to get you to Saturday again?
Well, let's hope so, but basically I'm here today and I want to win every game, and that's it. I don't even look at the table. The last time, not the first time I was here, I didn't even know I'd get through with one leg. And the last time I was here, I played really well and I made it through. But I just want to win every game. That's the target.
We wish you all the best tonight, Ross. All the best.
Thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
Very nice to hear from Ross earlier this evening. A typically eloquent way of putting group stage darts. He just wants to take one game at a time. And if he does win every game tonight, he will easily qualify, that's for sure. But very candid as well, Laura, talking about his age and the tricky part of playing over the age of 60. His opponent tonight is half his age and has had his problems in the throwing department. Obviously, he's wearing that sweatband on his right wrist, which signifies something that he broke during COVID. But 61 years of age now from Glasgow. A 2-time Dutch Open champion who will be favoured tonight based on experience and the fact that he's never missed a Saturday when he's come here.
Yeah, again, it's very interesting. Based on what we saw yesterday, I'm intrigued to see how this match played out, because this was one that I felt Ross had quite a bit of control over for a majority of it, but it was Tommy that came out the winner.
First leg, it's Tommy to throw first. Game on.
Tommy did win that match and provisionally snagged 3rd position.
125.
But being in a promotional position, I've been saying that a lot today. I don't know whether I'm spending too much time in Portsmouth. I'm not going to start talking about Portsmouth versus Southampton again, Laura, I promise you that. However, 3rd position will get you into Saturday, 4th will not. But we have already seen today somebody who started the day in a good position, but ultimately did not finish that way.
Yeah, and that's got a lot of potential to happen tonight. The levels that these guys are going to have to play at, and I think especially the top 4, they're all going to be gunning for it.
100.
I just feel a lapse of concentration, a couple of slips here and there, and that could cost you a place in Saturday's final.
85.
One observation I made last night about Montgomery's game is that even if he was slightly uncomfortable with his hand or his elbow, you can see he's wearing that skin-tight elbow brace on the throwing elbow.
135.
But every now and
Tommy
again,
require 151.
he'll throw in 100 average. Not necessarily every game, but this is tops.
111.
But I do believe that at some point tonight, Ross Montgomery will have an excellent game. It's just a question of when it comes.
Yeah, and I think in a group like this, I think consistency could be key. If you're going to dominate,
60.
every player's going to want
Tommy,
to go through that
require
card. Only one
40.
could potentially do it.
Game shot on the first
Well,
leg.
Tommy is starting
Morris.
like a bullet out of a gun. That may be the
Second
worst
leg,
joke I've
it's
made
Ross
all
to
week.
throw first.
But
Game on.
it is apt because that is a very good start in 13 darts. If he can maintain that standard, obviously he's going to do very well. Last night, 2 wins from 4, just like Ross.
45.
And I do wonder, with the complexity of this table and the players in it, as to whether another 2 wins from 4 will be
140.
enough. I'm not sure it will be.
No, I think maybe 2 wins from 4 may see you through, but that's got the potential of someone else winning 2 from 4, like we saw with the pair of these
123.
yesterday. Then it comes down to leg difference, and it gets all a bit tight and tense. Ross has been there before.
Does that scenario
55.
depend on maybe Alex Small winning a game at some point?
Yeah, I think that will completely change the dynamic of the table. If Alec can find his range, then I think that will then really get the table
60.
to start taking a bit more shape.
Really nice to hear from Montgomery in that interview as well, talking about how he put an arm around Alec's shoulder and just
96.
reassured him that everybody has a bad day on the dartboard. You don't become a bad player overnight, that's for sure. But taking on the role of the father of the group, you could say.
177.
That's wonderful from the boss. This could be a really good dust-up.
140. Russia require 96.
Ideally, you want the 61st to have 2 cracks of double 18. One dart at double 8.
No
Oh
score.
no.
Tommy, you require
Before that hit the
70.
board, he knew where it was going.
Yeah, but that was quite careless there from Tommy Morris. Now just the one dart at the ball.
Game shot on the second
Careless, what am I
leg.
talking about? It was
Tommy
obviously all
Morris.
part of the plan. Well, it all paid off in the end.
He pressed the red button, and
Third leg.
in a
it's
funny
Tommy
sort of
to throw
way,
First.
as you see the live table,
Game on.
Tommy Morris provisionally top. That's how tight this is. We've only played 2 legs tonight. Come on. It's like showing averages after 2 legs, which we probably will do in a
56.
minute. But we love a stat here at the Modus Super Series. But I think Ross Montgomery will probably feel better
140.
at the fact that Tommy took out that shot instead of maybe coming back for the 96, which he really shouldn't have bust.
No, and I wonder if that comes back to what he was
60.
saying in his interview. Just a few niggly pains. Sometimes you can just pull a dart. I mean, you can even if you haven't got any pains, but as you say, just slightly careless.
Are you seeing more dart players with discomfort and injuries than ever before?
60.
I don't know if that's because we're seeing them more. I mean, they're playing a lot more, or if it's because with the introduction of the
121.
seniors, especially, I don't want to say the older generation. I'm trying to think of a different word for it. The more experienced player, perhaps, is just getting that a bit more play time as well.
I think that's a really good point, actually. Maybe dart players have had lots of small
83.
injuries and discomforts, but now because of streaming, more televised darts,
95.
more promotions, maybe we're seeing more of what was actually happening before. Morris on 169 is not going to take it, so Montgomery's job here is to get rid of this in 6. And you can see how much he's disgusted by dart 2.
78.
It's a great recovery. But that single one has made this next shot way more difficult.
30.
If you're
Russia
130 or
require
better,
140.
you feel like you should get a dart for this leg. From this position, you've got to be perfect.
You're a bit of a sloppy visit from Tommy Morris. Leaves him on 139.
60. Tommy, you require 139.
I mean, this is awkward, and now it's not possible. So Montgomery back for 80, but I think he would have wanted to have been at
Russia
least on
require
tops after that
80.
visit.
The mission here is to be on tops after dart 2. That's if you don't leave yourself on double 10, of course. He doesn't move because he
Game
didn't
shot on
need
the
to.
third leg, Ross Montgomery.
A superb dart. That second dart was a bit precarious, though. I bet when it left his hand, he had a
Fourth
micro
flag,
hold
it's
of
Ross to
breath,
throw
as if to say,
first.
please don't go on the
Game
60,
on.
please don't go on the 60. Ah, now we can breathe out.
Yeah, a bit of a poker face from Ross. I imagine in his head it was a bit like, but he wasn't going to let it show.
Yeah, contrast the likes of Reece Robinson with Ross Montgomery.
25.
If that was Robinson, he would have shown his hand, whereas Montgomery's just a bit too wily for that. But if we can talk about the numbers from last night, Tommy Morris, 87.17, 29% on the doubles. That's a reduction in what he's done all
45.
week long, but he's still grafting pretty well. He's not hit a lot of maximums this week.
60.
He's not really noted for it. Only 9 from 20, or 19 games, in fact. I was going to say 20, but this one's not over yet, so we can't really call it a completed game.
135.
But Montgomery, 84.53. He was one of 3 players who were 40% or better on their
59.
doubles. And he did have 30 attempts at double over the course of the night. So the chances were there.
Yeah, arguably Ross Montgomery
42.
playing to that kind of form at the moment. 1 from 2, 50% on the doubles. But got to wonder how important was that leg, that 80
100.
checkout.
Russia
He's
require
put it all back on throw, and he's
154.
now got a chance here for a 164, a 154.
Yeah, this is an interesting shot now. 38 scored, leaves 116.
57.
He's trebleless. But after that first start, I think he was caught in no man's land as to how to approach the double.
100.
The
Russia
fact that he
require
spent a few extra
97.
seconds trying to figure it out is just another sign of experience. This is not a double-double attempt. He knows that 157 for
57.
Morris
Tommy,
is
you
hit
require
about
157.
4% of the time. Is this that time? That was a calculated approach shot from Montgomery.
133.
Because if you go
Russia
double-double,
require 40.
you might not be on a double with 3 darts in hand.
Game shot on the
And we have a level
leg,
game.
Ross Montgomery.
I implore young dart players to look at that leg and study
Fifth
it.
flag. It's Tommy to throw
Because
first.
everything he did
Game on.
had purpose. Nothing impetuous, nothing too showy. And in this climate,
59.
where we see 3 bulls on 150 and 120 with 3 tops pretty much every day now, I'm not going to classify what he did there as old school. I thought that was plotting the leg perfectly.
66.
Yeah, I agree. I think there is something to be said for playing the percentages. As you say, the 157 is not a regular outshot for players.
45.
And it paid dividends, and now we're at a level game. Everything to play for once again.
$140.
If Montgomery takes the lead after being 2-0 down, he's going to feel very, very pleased.
59.
But Morris, who at 2-0 was top of the table, is now back to 3rd. Back where he started. In fact, they both are.
100.
I can see these players moving around this table quite regularly this evening.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a jumble, isn't it?
100.
I've got an interesting question for you in the next leg in relation to how Tommy Morris progresses over the next 5 or 6 years. But if you want to get involved tonight, please get in touch with us in our
95.
YouTube chat or via our social channels. We are live tonight on YouTube, and we do have
100.
social channels with
Russia
Facebook,
require
Twitter,
100.
Instagram, and TikTok. Montgomery is looking to make the clock tick and talk towards a 3-2 lead.
60.
Wow, that was close
Tommy
again.
require 138.
He's living dangerously, is Ross Montgomery.
80.
Oh, we
Russia
better not call him
require
McDanger, because that is another dart player.
Yeah, that's a firmly well-established nickname in this neck of the woods.
Double 10 for the lead for the first time, and also for a break of throw.
30.
Wow.
Tommy, you require 58.
He is livid, and I can understand why.
Game shot on the fifth
He's gonna
leg,
feel even
Tommy
worse now.
Morris.
That is darts in a nutshell right there. Study those 6 darts. You've got
Sixth
one
leg,
person
it's Ross to throw
who
first.
feels like they're
Game on.
cruising to a 3-2 lead. They don't hit their double. The next person pounces, and the dynamic of the game changes in as little as 15 seconds.
Actually feels very reflective of their
140.
match last night. Ross did miss chances. Went 4-2 in the end. Ross is going to have to pull
83.
something out of the bag here to level it up and not suffer the same fate, because in a table this tight, I still think there is a potential for leg difference to count.
Now, my question to you about Tommy Morris,
140.
it's pretty simple. If you were to walk up to him right now and say,
121.
your career is going to have the exact titles that Ross Montgomery has had, and that would be everything that he would win, would he take it?
140.
I don't know really. That's a bit of a tough one, because two-time Dutch Open winner. For people that don't know the Dutch Open, it's
140.
4,000 players. It's one
Russia
of the elite
require
tournaments
81.
to win, but it depends on the ambition, because it's that major title, isn't it?
Absolutely. It does depend on ambition. This is double 13.
Game
And
shot
a
on
level
the sixth
game.
leg, Ross Montgomery.
That's how you bounce back from disappointment. That was a 12-dart leg.
7th and final
And at the
leg,
age of
it's
61,
Tommy to throw first.
He didn't lose his
Game on.
temper. He got even. And Tommy Morris versus Ross Montgomery
140.
this week is a brilliant fixture. I've not thought all day about the possibility that both players would qualify, because I am convinced that Henderson and O'Shea will get through. But perish the thought
60.
that one of those guys doesn't, and these two do.
Yeah, I do think anything is possible with those top 4
140.
tonight. But as I say, no Hendo, no party. So, I think there's a lot of Henderson fans that would like to see him there Saturday.
Look at that. Even in the 140s. No maximums, but sometimes you don't need them
100.
for a very good game. Maybe these two are meeting in the middle at the right time.
91.
But maybe Tommy Morris is finding his best darts at exactly the right time. He might even finish this game with a 12-darter of his own.
41.
He's now got
Tommy
6
require
darts minimum
130.
to make his way to 6 points with Henderson and O'Shea. And this is his first match dart.
114.
Yeah, and again, sensible play there from Tommy Morris.
$85.
He's going to have 6
Tommy
more if he needs them, but he wants to get rid of it quick.
Game shot. and
On
the
this
match,
occasion, he will
Tommy
not be
Morris.
denied. It was a very, very competitive first match of the night as Tommy the Gun goes to 6 points. He doesn't change position much throughout the course of a match, does he? Because after 2 legs, he goes to top, then he goes to third, and now he's top again with a 90 average and 50% on the doubles. That's a very, very solid performance in his first of 4 matches here tonight. Montgomery has got to recover when he comes back against John O'Shea in match 3. We'll take a short break now, but when we come back, it will be Alec Small looking to try and get his first points, and he's up against the aforementioned Big John Henderson.
Getting the chance to win it in style.
And he just 14 top scores. Brilliant.
And the World Seniors Championship stays in Scotland.
He's got his own route, and it's a route to success as well.
Level 18. Henderson hits. Henderson wins. The Highlander, Big John Henderson! Oh, what a sucker punch that is.
He's back. It's Big Bad John. And I think the funniest thing from that promo that we've run there is that John Henderson didn't realise how heavy that trophy was with one hand. It's one big dumbbell of a trophy, isn't it, John? And it's yours until January, at least. But he's got the Scotland colours on tonight, looking to make his way back to Saturday night for a tilt at his second weekly title. And something that will aid that is beating Alec Small once again. They had a really good ding-dong in the early hours of this morning, but Alec Small walked away with 0 points from 4 games. His best performance, in fact, was that game against Hendo, the 51-year-old World Senior Darts champion. Hendo winning by 4 legs to 3. And with a high finish of 102 at the very end of that contest, it means that John is in an excellent position, Laura, to make his way to the finals here in week 3.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think if I was Alec, this would
First
not be
leg,
the
it's
first game
Alec
I'd
to throw
want today.
first. Game on.
I think if you're in Alec's position, you would have just seen Tommy Morris take that narrow win over Ross Montgomery. I think for him to have any chance of qualifying, he's going to have to hope that neither Ross nor Tommy pick up any more points and he goes through the card. I can't see it happening any other
123.
way. I actually can't see that happening either between Ross and Tommy, but I think that's what he's got to
60.
think.
Maybe his approach tonight can be that of Montgomery, who earlier tonight said he doesn't look at the table, he doesn't look at the fixtures too far in advance.
140.
He just waits for the players' marshal to say, 5 minutes? Because that's the warning they get.
90.
And those final 5 minutes are very important, aren't they? So you can switch your game face on. And it feels like John's had his game face on for best part of a week now.
134.
And it has been a pretty good week for John.
54.
But the job is not
John,
done
you
yet.
require 104.
This time to start with a ton plus checkout. It's tops again. He never gets sick of
Game shot on
it.
the first leg, John Henderson.
And he never gets sick of hitting it.
No, wonderful opening 12 dart leg there from John Henderson.
Second leg,
Early
it's
breaker
John to
throw
go
and
first.
just leaves
Game
Small
on.
contemplating what he can do tonight. And it was interesting, wasn't it, hearing Ross saying, you mentioned it before, Ross taking that kind of fatherly approach
60.
with Alec, but obviously very disappointed with the outcomes yesterday and the way he played, I believe.
He averaged just shy of 77 for the
100.
night. The doubles weren't really the problem. He was 1 out of every 3, which is acceptable at this level. But when you're playing people like John, like Ross, like O'Shea and Tommy, 1 out of every 3 is sometimes not enough.
62.
Let's take Henderson, for example. In Group A, he was 47%. Last night, he was 42%.
139.
There's nothing wrong with his doubles.
No, and I think when you look at what Alex did
100.
last night, didn't actually set up as many opportunities on the outer ring either. So when he got them, really felt that he had to take them. And that goes back to what you're saying. You can't afford
56.
to miss those chances when you get them.
Now, with an average of like 77, you're sneaking into visit number 7.
81.
And everybody else was inside the end of the 6th visit. That's why he was cut
58.
adrift. Averages are only a guide, but sometimes they paint a very bold picture.
81. Alec, you require 148.
That would have bettered his best finish last night by 60 points.
100. John, you require
But
170.
if he stares down another ton plus checkout from Hendo, he'll not be a pleased man. It's tops again.
77.
bit
Alec,
of a
you
let off.
require 48.
Sigh of relief there. And it's tops is now the target for Alex Small.
Game shot on a
Very
second
good.
leg. Alex Small.
Straight down the neck of that second barrel in the board.
Third leg. It's Alec to throw first.
And he has broken back.
Game on.
And John is under no illusions that tonight is going to be simple.
97.
He remembers very well when he first came to the Modus Super Series at the start of last year just how hard it is to play 5 or 6 days in a row. The rest part
60.
in between sessions is crucial.
Yeah, that luxury went the way of
58.
Sweden's Andreas Harrison. But I don't think it was through a lack of trying from John Henderson. He posted some amazing stats. It's just the dominance of Harrison.
140.
What do you think Andreas has been doing the last couple of days? Because he's not a big social media person.
100.
I think he's been seeing the sights of Portsmouth, maybe going for a jaunt out to rural Hampshire.
Yeah, maybe. I saw John O'Shea, he took a little wander. Saw him outside
100.
Portsmouth ground earlier today.
It's a very creative photo that John posted on his socials today, saying he's outside of
136.
the Portsmouth football ground, which is right next to a Tesco. So if you'd have seen the other side of the camera, it might not have been as pretty.
135.
I'm not allowed to say anything. I'm
Alec,
a Saints
you require
fan.
110.
Fair enough. Treble 18 for Alec. But what will it be for John?
98.
Because with
John, you
his
require 66.
liking of double top, I'm surprised he's not going for treble 14 on that shot.
48.
And he might pay the price for those
Alec,
misses.
you require 12.
Double 6 for the sole Welsh player of the week.
Shot on the third
And he's in
leg,
front.
Alec Small.
Yeah, going back to Harrison. Yeah, I imagine he's just obviously kind of just,
Fourth flag. It's John to throw
just making the
first.
most of the break. He
Game on.
kind of looks like a guy that might go out and fell some trees. He's got that kind of look about him.
Yeah, just leave your hotel room.
100.
Go on a search for some Swedish Gravidlax. Get a beard massage.
100.
Go and see an ABBA tribute act. And maybe tune into the darts when it's on. Just to scope out the competition for Saturday. He is actually going for a bit of history.
95.
This week is Andreas. If he wins tomorrow, he will be the first
180.
person to have 5 Saturday wins. Now that is the first 180 of Alex Small's week.
100.
Littler's got 4. Steve West has 4 here in Portsmouth. But Harrison
134.
could have 5.
I'll have to say, this is a marked improvement as well from Alex Small.
140.
We did know it was there. We did say
Alec,
it.
you require
And we also
87.
mentioned he could be a spoiler. This would be a spoiler for Henderson.
69.
Now, is he going to go the same route
John,
for
you require
66?
66.
My assumption is yes. This time, it's tops though.
26.
This game might be getting
Alec, you
away from him.
require 18.
Double 4.
14.
He's given another chance.
John, you require 40.
And if John takes this, it's monstrous already. And I'll tell you why if he hits it. He resets. And he
Shot on the
hits.
fourth flag.
And
John
here's why it's
Henderson.
important. Because we are back to all square in this match. Morris,
Fifth flag,
Henderson,
it's Alec to
and
throw
O'Shea
first.
all have 6
Game on.
points. And they all have the same leg difference as well. There's the proof.
60.
However, O'Shea is yet to play. Montgomery on 4 points just off that shot
100.
is on -1. It is seriously tight.
Yeah, and that makes the next match all the more
140.
mouth-watering because Montgomery will be taking on O'Shea.
Yeah, friendships put aside for about 20 minutes.
81.
Henderson not playing his ultimate stuff here in this match, but it's still a very good contest where both are averaging over
57.
91. This is so much better than anything that Alex Small played last night. I've got to get me a pep talk from Ross Montgomery.
Yeah. Pep talk or just being told, just go out there and play well.
100.
Sometimes you just got to be told what to do. And sometimes you've got to get it from the boss.
94.
No maximums yet for John, but he'd love one here.
140.
Still a very,
Alec, you
very
require
good approach.
150.
This will be even better. Double 18.
132.
He's had enough chances now to win this match.
John, you require 80.
Yeah, 100%. And Hendo, once again, just resetting, making sure everything's right.
Now, does he go treble 13 for tops?
He's thinking about it. 2 darts in hand, I'd say yes.
He looks a bit troubled.
16.
If he loses this leg,
Alec,
it's
you
not the end of the
require
world.
18.
But this is familiar.
14.
Exactly the same as last
Johnny
time.
requires
And if
64.
Hendo takes 64, it'll feel like a carbon copy of the previous leg. And Alex Small will be livid. Wow. That was for treble 8. And he's not going to get a shot at double. He's overshot both segments he was going for.
Wow, it's just all gone a bit
33.
awry, hasn't it, for John Henderson? The
Alec, you
last few
require
throws.
4.
So another chance here for Small. And this
Game
time he
shot on
gets
the
it.
fifth leg, Alec Small.
Well, if I were Hendo at this point, I'm starting this leg, but I'd take an
Sixth
extra
leg,
5
it's John
seconds.
to throw first.
Have a couple of deep breaths.
Game on.
And reset, because the end of that leg might have him in a bit of a tiz.
Yeah, I think he's heard you there, just taking another step back. I mean, it's left us scratching our heads, and he looked mightily confused about the last few throws.
60. $43.
Alec looks about as energized as we've seen him here this week. He looks very focused and eager. John's been
60.
incredibly focused for 4.5 days now. I just wonder if he's feeling the effects of playing for
98.
5 days in a row.
Well, you mentioned before the break, it's all important, and Henderson's mentioned it previously. Can get a bit fatigued. And it's not just a physical thing, is it? You know, as a dart player, it's a very
93.
mental game. It takes a lot of focus, a lot of concentration. Your mind can wander. Well, I know mine can anyway.
90.
Don't underestimate as well, as a sports person in any sport, the value of good sleep. The amount of times I've spoken to players in this sport who don't play well because they haven't slept well. If you're a bad sleeper, it could affect your entire career. But the bounce back from Hendo here after
45.
terrible end to the previous leg
John, you require 108.
has been excellent. I'm convinced that's one of the reasons why Gary Anderson's so good, you know. He could sleep in the middle of a tornado.
84.
Yeah, it's something that notably I think has played the players like Vincent van der Voort. He mentions it just likes the comforts of your bed at home.
139. John, you
If only we could
require
put that in our
24.
suitcase. Double 12.
Game shot
And
on
John
the
does
sixth
not
leg,
give
John
Alec a
Henderson.
shot.
Seventh and final
If
leg.
he has
It's Alec to
any
throw first.
hope
Game
at
on.
all, Alex Small must win this leg.
60.
It's very, very simple. 6 points is not going to be enough to qualify through this group. 8, and you still have a fighting chance.
100.
Yeah, interestingly, we got to this point yesterday, and it was the advantage of throw that helped John Henderson over the line. He won 4-3. Will the
100.
advantage of throw help Alex Small here?
Look at that ton count. Not very often you see that go to double figures, but they've both got there.
96.
Yes or no, Laura? Is 15 darts good enough for Hendo?
93.
I think so. I think if he can get anywhere around that mark, then that might trouble Alec.
57.
Pretty much on as even. Not anymore.
174.
What a time to find that. I think the words rattling through Hendo's brain right now are very blue. You dastardly
60.
little thing
Alec
doing
requires
that.
74.
It's not 174 he needs just the 74. Oh boy, you lucky, lucky boy.
34.
How did that not hit the 60? That was like going for an open goal and thinking, it's just a 20. Comes off the laces and
100.
hits the bar,
Alec, you
hits the
require
post, and
40.
somehow doesn't go in. But that
Game
does.
shot and the match.
And it's a
Alex
first
Small.
win in the group for the Welshman. A big sigh of relief for the wild card, who now still has a mathematical chance of getting through this group. He's going to need a lot to go his way, but his job is simple. He must win the rest of his matches tonight. And he's got the first one over the world senior champion John Henderson, who will now go to third position in the table behind O'Shea and Morris. That's how it stands right now. It's very, very tight. It's all to play for. And John O'Shea will bring his brand of chaos to the Modus Super Series again after this. Welcome back to the Modus Super Series, and one of two things is about to happen as we have our third game here on Friday night. John O'Shea is either going to take the lead on 8 points, or the boss is going to have his little seat at the party as well, because Montgomery wins, just like he did yesterday against O'Shea, doing the double over the man from Cork. It will be 4 players on 6 points. And get your Modus Super Series abacus out, everybody. Get them dusted off, because it could be a little bit of carnage over the next couple of hours if this guy's got something to do with it. However, in his first game tonight, he lost 4-3 to Tommy Morris by a very fine margin. Just couldn't catch Morris in that last leg. But wasn't John O'Shea, the 48-year-old from Cork, very, very impressive last night in his 3 winning games? And even in that game that he lost to Montgomery, he was still very competitive.
Yeah, it really was. If he comes out the same way as he came out yesterday, then I think this could be a struggle for Ross Montgomery. But today's a different day, and dart players, as much as we try to replicate, it doesn't always go to
First
plan.
leg, it's Ross to throw first. Game on.
I said to Ross earlier, a question that he wasn't sure what the answer was to it. If he wins 2 from 4 again, does he think that'll be enough to make Saturday?
140.
Would he, at this stage, take 2 wins from 3 games?
Ross, no, I think he's that kind of person. He's going to want to go up there and
81.
win absolutely everything. I think what he will take is if he gets 2 wins from 3 and gets through, he'll be happy enough.
There was a subject that I was tempted to bring up in that interview, but decided
60.
not to at the last minute because he's never done anything in a Group B situation the easy way. The 2 previous times he has got through by the
45.
finest of margins. It just feels like every time he comes to Portsmouth, it's going to be a grind.
Yeah, well, kind of goes one of 2 ways. Either that kind of luck runs out eventually,
140.
or when you look at a group like this, I think someone will get that 3rd spot and it will be that close.
42.
It's a really solid start here from Ross.
Ross, you
161
require
after 9.
161.
He'd love to be on 80.
81.
Mystic strikes again. Got to get it right sometimes, right?
140.
The
Ross,
fact
you
that O'Shea is
require
not on a
80.
finish gives Montgomery time to get this done. But because he's missed a few vital doubles tonight, he'd like to get this done quickly. He's done this already,
40.
and he will be back for tops to take care of this in 6 visits.
59.
Yeah, not quite
Ross,
the
you
emphatic
require
start we saw
40.
from John O'Shea, but been quite dominant here from Ross Montgomery.
Game shot
And he
of
does
first
find the
leg,
spot
Ross
first start of
Montgomery.
asking.
We've been doing some digging with our production staff in the break, just looking into the history
Second
books
leg,
of
it's John to throw first.
what could be on the line
Game on.
come this time tomorrow, because our champion will be crowned somewhere between 11 o'clock and 11:30 on Saturday
60.
night. Andreas Harrison has been to 6 Saturday nights and won 4 titles. So 1 series and 3 weeklies. Steve West has
85.
4 weeklies from 6 finals nights. So their record is identical. Luke Littler has been to 5
100.
finals nights and won 4. But if Harrison wins tomorrow, he will be at the top of those charts on his own. Other people who have got 3 weekly
40.
titles here in this building: Conan Whitehead, who was the Series 1 champion; Jim McEwen, Series 5 champion; Neil Duff, Scott Taylor, the Series 6 champion;
115.
and Matt Clark as well, who has 3.
That's not a bad little list of people to be with, is it?
Yeah, Darryl Pilgrim's been pretty good here as well.
45.
One of the best players not to have won a series so far, but he's got more records in this building than most vinyl collectors who like the Beatles.
140.
Good response here from the Irishman, who's been flying the flag for his country for many, many years. Was one thing missing from his dart
77.
shirt he should have on
Johnny
there.
require 86.
John O'Shea does what John O'Shea does.
It's something we do delight in with John O'Shea. One of the only people that
46.
I've watched on several occasions to interview in the 3rd person.
Do you remember that interview he did at the UK Open with Helen Chamberlain once? It was fabulous. I think he said his own name 7 times. I wish I had a copy of that
98.
interview. I want
Johnny
to see it
require
again.
40.
It was remarkable.
Game shot on the second leg.
And a very good
John
riposte
O'Shea.
here from John O'Shea. How many times can we say his name in a game?
When he's playing, probably quite a few times.
Third leg, it's Ross to throw first. Game on.
And it is the name, you have to say it in its entirety. It doesn't sound right, O'Shea or just John. It is John O'Shea.
John O'Shea.
You can do the accents.
60.
Well, you can attempt the accents.
I can attempt it. And Kevin Bridges does a very, very good cork. I watched his special on Netflix recently, which was
140.
from Cork. I don't want to disrespect the people of Southwest Ireland by trying to do their accent. It's a beautiful, melodic accent.
60.
We used to have a PDC tournament in the town of Killarney.
Yeah, not somewhere I've actually been, but
60.
there is a WDF tournament they host there now, but always clashes with the Grand Slam. So, yeah, I'm normally up in Wolverhampton.
Would you like to hear a curious fact about the place where they hold that
43.
tournament in Killarney in the WDF at the minute?
Go on then.
Because there is a dart player who is still very, very active on the PDC circuit at the minute, who has won a PDC title
82.
in that building in Killarney, and he's also won the Irish Open in that building in a different promotional system. Jelle Klaassen.
I was going to say that. Need confidence in my convictions here.
174.
Ah, the old Dundas 174 from the Scotsman.
81. Russia require 164.
Honour's pretty much even here in leg 3. Who's going to take it? It's not going to be Ross at this visit. O'Shea did get a 150 checkout yesterday with 2 treble 19s. He
Johnny
can use that
require
route
138.
for this shot. Decides not to.
58. Russia require 64.
Who's going to get the first dart at a double to take leg 3 then? It should be Monty.
Yeah, it is. And the target is tops.
44.
It just goes low. So a chance
Johnny
here for John
require
O'Shea.
80.
This checkout keeps coming up in Ross Montgomery games. Double top for John O'Shea. Ooh.
60.
It missed the tops
Russia
by a mile,
require 20.
courtesy of flight number 2. And it almost bust it.
Just in case we weren't quite sure what happened there, John did that very visual aid for us towards
Game shot
the
on
end.
third leg, Ross Montgomery.
So it's 2-1 to Monty. And I'm glad that people are
Fourth
aware
leg,
of Kevin
it's John
Bridges
to
in
throw
our
first.
YouTube live
Game
chat
on.
because somebody called Auber has just said Hoosreis. If you don't
60.
know that reference, it's to do with a Kevin Bridges sketch. They're talking about getting a Chinese takeaway and a family that decides not to buy rice, they make their own. And the line goes, I'm going to expose you.
100.
Is Montgomery going to expose John O'Shea to this somewhat tepid start to his campaign?
140.
But it is gradually warming up. O'Shea yesterday was very, very good on the whole.
100.
Only person to average over 90 for the night. 42% on the doubles, just like John Henderson.
100.
Best average came in his third match when he beat Alex Small by 4 legs to 1. That's where that 150 checkout came as well.
Yeah, and I do wonder sometimes with the psychology of darts and the way players think. Obviously, is Ross just a little bit more confident coming into this match, knowing that he did get the win over John O'Shea yesterday? Is John thinking too much? Because it's a bit of an
82.
open goal at the moment with Hendo losing. Obviously, Montgomery lost the other one. It's quite a loaded match in terms of how it could change the table.
$131.
Yeah, wonderful darts
Johnny
there from
require
Montgomery.
119.
Well, shots on. Bull.
94.
That would have been a very symmetrical triple
Russia
lipstick.
requires 70.
The unintentional 119. Are we looking at tops again? Of course we are.
50.
And that little sound that
John,
you
require
heard
25.
was dart 3 hitting dart 2, and he did not want that to happen.
Game shot on the
But
fourth
John
flag.
wanted that
John
to happen.
check.
We are tied again, and we are getting our money's worth tonight. 2 4-3s, and it's likely that this will
Fifth
do the
flag.
same
It's Ross to throw first. Game on.
if the first 4 legs are anything to be believed. A couple of interesting questions in our chat at this early stage of the night. Thanks for getting in touch.
100.
One of our North American regular viewers has asked, are there local tournaments in this area on a Thursday or a Friday for the Group A winner to participate in? I know of some on a Tuesday and a Wednesday, but not necessarily the best timing. But I'm sure Andreas would find something if he wanted to do that. And someone
100.
asking a very apt question for you, Laura. Whatever happened to Richie Gardner?
That's a
He's a
lovely-
friend of yours.
140.
He is indeed, yeah. Yeah, he's still playing. He play local league with Richie. He's obviously still involved at the top end of darts as well. And also, obviously, we get to see his wonderful son on the PDC circuit as one of the
140.
markers, the official markers there as well, Charlie.
Charlie is an exceptional official. One of the best. And he is an Olympic user of chewing gum.
140.
I think he even chews it in his
Ross, you
sleep.
require 121.
Yeah, not really thought about it before, but you're right.
Never seen him without chewing gum. He's a bit like his dad in that regard. Well, John is looking at the possibility of being in front with a break of throw. Nothing is
30.
coming easy to Ross tonight.
John, you require 87.
And things might be about to get a little bit worse for him. Bullseye again.
62.
Same spot.
Ross, you require 108.
Yeah, and has Ross got this in the locker? This game feels very similar. Parts of it, you felt Ross Montgomery was dominating like he did against Tommy Morris, but came undone in the end. And can't find the treble. So John O'Shea back for 25 and at 3-2 lead and a break a throw.
84. John, you require 25.
It's double 8 again. Not for long.
21.
What a chance
Ross, you require
to fix this
24.
situation. When he was standing at the back of the stage there, I'm sure he thought that he was going to be 3-2 down.
Game shot on the
But it's
fifth
the other way.
flag. Ross Montgomery.
Got to take full advantage of having the darts. He didn't have them against
Sixth
Tommy
flag.
Morris.
It's
He
John to
did
throw
not get a
first.
match-winning opportunity in the
Game
last
on.
leg. But at least this time with the darts, he's got a bonus opportunity to win 4-2.
121.
But if he doesn't get it, he will have the darts in leg 7.
You're already at this early stage of the night's proceedings. You can feel there's a bit of tension up on the stage.
59.
I'm not surprised. You look at this table.
100.
It's like trying to read the Matrix. Another question in our YouTube chat about
100.
darts tournaments. James is asking, any tournaments around Middlesbrough to join or watch? Well, Middlesbrough is one of the
100.
epicenters of the amateur darts circuit. And that's one of the feeder systems for the Modus Super Series. So what you want to do is go to your
60.
favoured search engine and just search for amateur darts circuit and look through that website, figure out some stuff in your area, and you can go and play some darts in Middlesbrough. They've got plenty around there.
60.
You might even run into Glen Durrant.
Indeed, you might. But yeah. ADC circuit, we've seen some fantastic people come through as ADC qualifiers. I think the one that is probably recency biased, but the one in my head that
94.
rings true
John,
is
you require
Tom Sykes.
120.
Glorious second dart. He needed it confirmed, but now that it has been, it's tops for another
80.
last leg decider. We could still get it. Strap yourselves in, everybody. This is like a feature-length episode of EastEnders at Christmas.
135.
If John slips up,
John, you require 40.
Ross is right there.
Game
He
shot
doesn't
and stick
slip.
Flag, John O'Shea.
And he looks very assured. But this is a drastic situation for
Seventh
Ross.
and final leg. It's
Can
Ross
he
to throw
afford
first.
to lose this leg?
Game on.
I don't think so. No, I think just from a positivity point of view, Ross needs the win. He's found himself in this position once already tonight, and it's not the first time in this Group B campaign.
57.
He wants to come good in a 4-3 in a deciding leg.
My thought process with this leg is, if Montgomery loses it, he wants John O'Shea to
95.
go berserk after this and take everybody out, just to keep everybody in the same vicinity as the Scot. He may be thinking about that post this leg. He will not be thinking about it right now.
174.
Yet another 174, his second of the match.
I
140.
do remember being with Anthony Dundas when that was called out and he was not the one doing the calling. That is his most favourite number of all.
Yeah, I think if he called that down in Portsmouth, they'd hear it in Glasgow.
60.
They don't call it Glasgow up there, do they? It's Glasgow. Glesga. Just like it's not football up there.
128.
But this isn't football. It's darts. Earlier in the match, O'Shea did have 138 and he went up for the 60.
82.
Is he going to do the
John,
same?
you require 138.
O'Shea has now got the throw.
Yeah, but you feel he's kind of gifted it
Ross,
back
you
to Ross
require
Montgomery.
128.
128 for a victory.
60 bull to win this match.
$85.
He really hated
Johnny
that dart.
require
It
98.
missed low and well left. O'Shea can steal it. But he won't at that visit. There's no guarantee at all
58.
that John
Ross,
O'Shea
you
will have a
require
chance to win this
43.
match. This is to do the double over the Joker. He may be Batman. But is he a tops man? Vital,
shot, and
vital
match,
win
Ross
for Ross
Montgomery.
Montgomery. And when you look at the table now, things are getting even more interesting. We are loving tonight because 7 legs in every match so far. Montgomery joins the winning party, and we have a pattern on our hands as well. Very, very close in the average there. 86 both. And the doubles, well, John O'Shea, he missed 10, and Montgomery got enough chances, only missing 5. But when we come back, we'll explain the complexity of the table, and we'll see Henderson up against the gun. If you like 7-leg games, you've come to the right place because we've already had 3. I wonder if we're about to get another one. Well, let's have a look at the table, shall we? Because it doesn't get much closer than that, does it? Ross Montgomery won the last match by 4 legs to 3 and has not changed position because his leg difference is at all square. That's 0 next to the plus and minus column. O'Shea has been demoted to 3rd, which is still in a position to qualify, but he's got 3 games left. Montgomery has only got 2. He must make them count. But now, Tommy Morris or John Henderson, who are occupying the 2 spots at the top, one of them is about to go to 8 points. That is a guarantee. And what is also a guarantee is that 10 points, if you get them, will make you a Saturday night participant. So, over to these 2 guys. Is it going to be their last meeting of the week? Or is it just the precursor to a meeting on Saturday as well?
First leg, it's John to throw first. Game on.
And these guys love a 4-3, don't they? 4 meetings, 3 4-3s.
140.
Sounds like a really complicated football formation.
Yeah, but notably, every single match this week has gone the way of
100.
Big John Henderson. Tommy's going to want to change that statistic tonight. And I will say, just towards the tail end of Hendo's opening match
58.
against Alec Small, just looked like he was getting slightly fatigued. It has been here all week. It can be quite grueling to
95.
maintain that level.
And if you are feeling a little bit lethargic at this late hour, sometimes you need to press the energy button somehow. Whether that's with a little bit of
97.
extra hydration, a little bit of food maybe. That's what tennis players do. A little bit of
99.
creative potassium through a banana. Didn't think I was going to say those 2 words tonight. Creative potassium. Welcome to chemistry here in the Modus Super Series.
140.
I do think players that have experienced this before and they should know the drill by now, and they do normally come
60.
quite prepared with
John, you require
food and
66.
just things to just keep those energy levels up.
Well, how many times do you want to leave 66 tonight, John? How many times do you want to hit it different ways? This is the 3rd different way.
Game shot
But it's
on
the first time he's hit
leg.
it.
John Henderson.
So maybe that's the future, going double-double.
Always the weight. I could see the plan there.
Second leg, it's Tommy
But
to
that's
throw
what's
first.
creeped
Game
into
on.
to Hendo's game, I think. Just this afternoon, or this evening, I should say. Just a few of those loose starts.
92.
Didn't cause him any trouble there, but won't be able to afford to do that too many times.
Now, I've got a theory with Tommy Morris here this week against Hendo.
100.
You mentioned that he's not beaten him. If Tommy was a gamer playing something, and I'm sure my age here,
81.
playing something like Sonic the Hedgehog, and Hendo is right at the end of the level. He's doing everything right. He's picking up the rings. He's getting his pace up.
45.
He's on top of the trampoline button, going high in the sky, and he gets to the end. And then the guy in the spaceship at the end of the level, that's Hendo.
40.
And he keeps beating him. And then he has to go all the way to the start again to try and beat him once more. And he just hasn't done it yet.
I don't know what's making me laugh more. The fact that you referenced Sonic the Hedgehog, and if my kids are listening, they will text me in a minute and go, what? Or the fact that I can actually imagine Tommy Morris as Sonic the Hedgehog. He's always full of beans.
96.
And I can visualise John as the baddie at the end, even though he's not a baddie.
No, he's not baddie. But yeah, I know.
Somebody get John a moustache and a very nice little
94.
spaceship that's swinging back and forward.
$82.
Well, Hendo gets a 140 here, and he's in 2-dot territory.
$100.
And that's what he
Tommy
wanted.
require
The
110.
ton makes the next possible shot a lot harder. But we're talking about a player who has had a 156 this week,
74.
which includes the 2
require
treble 20s he wants
140.
right now.
85.
He recovers well, but Tommy
required
Morris,
36.
36 required to level the match and
Game shot on
finds
the
it first
second
up.
leg. Tommy Morris.
Yeah, doing Dorset proud. I'm sure Scott Mitchell is
Third
watching on
leg, it's
tonight
John
after
to throw
a
first.
grueling day on the
Game
farm. Or has he been playing at the Six Nations today? Because he's been playing for England, hasn't he?
83.
Representing the red and white.
$97.
Now, when they played on Thursday night, these two, shock horror, 4-3. Both averaged mid-90s. A 1-2-1 check out from Hendo in his constant use of the treble 7.
140.
Don't neglect your small trebles. But his doubles in that match were sublime. 4 out of 6.
140.
What he would give for that right now. And it's very possible because we haven't had a missed start at double in this match yet. In fact, John's hit 2.
182.
And there you see your first
Johnny
180 of the
required
match. Does go the way of
143.
Tommy Morris. Big check out here.
$119.
Great darts from John.
Tommy required
But Tommy's in
84.
position to break. But he doesn't.
72.
And he can't leave
Johnny
Hendo on double
required
12.
24. Game shot on the third leg.
Hate to say
John
I told you so.
Henderson. Fourth flag. It's Tommy to throw first. Game on.
I think this is the fixture that gives Tommy Morris the most nightmares.
59.
If you're playing 5 days minimum here at the Modus Super Series, there's always going to be one opponent that keeps you awake for an extra 5 minutes at night.
85.
There may even be an opponent that keeps you awake for a cumulative hours in your life.
100.
Who is it for you, Laura?
The list is relatively long, but I will say at the moment, you know, I think it's probably everyone's, but as soon as you see the drawing, you know that
140.
you've got Bo at any point. You know, you kind of muster up every bit that you can. But yeah, I think the main one for me was
97.
always Aileen de Graaf. Most notably because at the few times I have beaten Aileen, my kids would be like, wow, you actually did it. You can do it. So I always knew that I must have lost to her quite a few times.
That's a little bit cheeky. Where's Newton?
140.
Still keeps me awake at night. Haven't even seen him for months. He haunts my thoughts.
140.
Great 140 from Hendo.
Tommy require 105.
Can Tommy draw level? This is a monstrous shot.
65.
He knew it was missing as soon as he threw it.
81.
It could be double 12 again for the Scotsman. He'll settle for the ball.
56.
It was online
Tommy, you require
in the first
40.
half, but it tailed off towards the end. Are we level?
Game shot on the
Tommy
fourth
is.
flag. Tommy Morris.
What about the possibility of every game going 4-3?
Fifth flag. It's John to throw first.
It wouldn't surprise me
Game
tonight.
on.
It really, really wouldn't. I will say the one thing I haven't seen too much of from Tommy Morris is the Tommy gun at the celebration at the end of a match.
135.
I think if he does find a way of beating John Henderson tonight, we may see it. If we don't, I'll be very disappointed.
140.
Well, if you haven't seen some of our Bullseye challenges from this week yet, you might want to see them when they're released because Tommy has been the personality this week from the Bullseye challenges.
97.
And he has brought a prop this week, but I'm not going to spoil it for you all.
83.
I don't know what it is about weapons this week, by the way. Hendo's got a sword on the back of his shirt.
87.
Tommy's got a gun. And Andreas Harrison's got Clint Eastwood with a monstrous handgun.
45.
in fairness, the Joker's pretty sinister as a character.
Yeah, I think he beats you with his mind. He just tells everybody else what to do.
99.
Well, there was an opportunity there for Tommy to get
85.
underneath 130 to make it a little bit easier. He didn't utilise the option. What does he want to do? He was in two minds
47.
there.
Tommy, you require
I think ultimately he may have
134.
done the right thing. Two double tops.
94.
Turns out that Hendo did do the
Tommy,
right
you
thing,
require 38.
because very, very nearly Tommy Morris took that fifth leg. And without
Getting shot on the
hesitation,
fifth
Hendo
leg,
nicks it
John
again.
Henderson.
If he keeps doing this to Tommy Morris, he might as well take up a holiday home in his pocket.
Sixth leg. It's Tommy to throw first. Game on.
Tommy's a very friendly guy. He's probably going to charge him
81.
mates rates, but my word. How much can Tommy take against the world senior champion?
140.
His performance levels against John, you can't really knock them. Averaging over 90, but Hendo just ups the level every time. He's
56.
finding a way through.
They are two of the best darting products that come here to Portsmouth on a regular basis.
140.
This game proves just how good they are when they play each other.
But for me, it's really good to see Henderson bounce back after
100.
disappointment, perhaps, of losing to Alec in that opening match. I think he's got the memo. No Hendo, no party. He's trying to force his way into Saturday.
140.
And for the first time tonight,
100.
we might
John,
not
you
go the
require
distance
81.
if John's got anything to do with it. Now what does he do? I think treble 18's the call. He'll lay up for tops
41.
and hope
Tommy,
that
you
Tommy
require
Morris does not
164.
add this to his collection. Oh, so close. Now Hendo can finish
John,
the
you
job
require 40.
for a fifth consecutive victory against
Shot
Tommy
on
Morris
the
this
match,
week.
John Henderson.
And if Tommy does not qualify for Saturday night, a lot of it is to do with the Highlander, who has been living in the road of the man from Dorset. But that performance, one of the best that we've seen over the last couple of days in Group B and Group C. But Hendo was excellent on the doubles for his second consecutive game against the man from Dorset. 4 from 6 for the second consecutive day against Tommy Morris. And it's good enough to put Hendo in the provisional top spot. So when we come back, it's the final game of the first half, and Alex Small trying to keep his faint hopes alive. He needs to beat O'Shea when we come back.
Hang on a minute. Wow! Oh my God! Well, that's £100 down the drain already. Itching to hit the 180. He's gone for the maximum.
Team for the ball. Ball.
53.
No, he said bull. That's a great first out from Adam. Oh, look at this. He's going to leave Skate.
Oh, can you believe it? That is unbelievable. Yeah, match starts to put his team into the final. And through to the final they go. Charlie Murphy has hit the match-winning dart on both occasions. Number 4 for the title.
Game shot out of the match. Please show your appreciation for the winner of the Influencer Pairs event, George Scaife and Adam Lipscomb.
seems to be out. That's what he is. Charlie Murphy. A couple more visits yet. We're not going to need that.
Bosh.
Pie Face is through.
And he's absolutely buzzing.
It was a game that Pie Face dominated throughout.
Welcome back. It is the second game of the night for John O'Shea and taking on Alec Small, who is now off to a winning start. The man from Wales does have a very, very, very small chance of making it through in the top three, but he needs to win all of his matches tonight. He needs to beat John O'Shea and he needs Tommy Morris and Ross Montgomery to have a bad time of it for the rest of the evening. It's so slim, you can barely see it. However, he's got one job. Win every game. He's already done it once, and it was a good performance against John Henderson.
First leg, it's John to throw first. Game on.
But John O'Shea is looking to do exactly what Henderson's done, rebounding from a first round loss.
97.
Just to make things feel a little bit more comfortable, O'Shea could definitely do with eliminating Alec Small.
61.
Kind of comes down to the level of bounce back ability. We saw it from Alec in the first match, as you mentioned, just from the disappointment from yesterday. Now, John O'Shea, I wonder if he's coming out with a bit of a different demeanour now, because he's seen
85.
Hendo pick up some points. He's seen Montgomery pick up points. Tommy Morris has got points. He's the only one so far not to have got some tonight. That won't sit well with
94.
the Joker.
Speaking of the Joker, last night we talked about who you think is the best Joker.
97.
And this is something I love to talk about. So we will very briefly at the start of this match. Favourite Joker
96.
moment from you, Laura. And you can think about it if you have to.
92.
You go first.
121.
I think it's a
Johnny
line.
require 130.
If you're good at something, never do it for free. It's a somewhat capitalistic way of looking at things.
No, I agree.
58.
I think it's the way forward.
129.
2 double 18s. We saw this from Reece Robinson earlier. And he's got company.
First leg,
What a
Alec
shot
Small.
from Small. Even if he doesn't qualify tonight, he's starting to show
Second
signs of
leg,
form.
It's Alec to throw first.
And it's all your
Game
fault,
on.
Ross Montgomery. You may just have unlocked
41.
the real Alec Small. What a great shot that was.
Yeah, and we saw him attempt some of them yesterday and been well off the mark. Now, as you say,
58.
showing signs of exactly what he can do.
60.
For me, there's only 2 jokers. Has to be Jack Nicholson and Heath Ledger. The rest of them are left wanting.
96.
That's from another Heath Ledger film, isn't it?
99.
Is that not from A Knight's Tale?
It may just be.
It probably isn't. It's just probably just she said it.
Welcome to Movie Chat here at the Modus Super Series.
58.
I wonder how long Jonas Shea could talk about the Joker. He may just be the biggest fan of those characters in this sport. However, we spoke earlier tonight about the fact that
100.
he's not the only dart player called the Joker. Jose Justicia of Spain is also called that. But with all due respect to Jose, John O'Shea's the joker.
43. John, you require 110.
This is no joke, though. Tremendous first start.
78.
He'll be back. But he's going to be under pressure.
89.
I
John, you
don't
require
understand that
32.
third dart. I know the 60s blocked, but I still think the 20s was the play.
Game shot on a second leg. John O'Shea.
But I have a theory about O'Shea at the minute, and he looks in really good nick to
Third
me.
leg. It's John to throw first.
We've both
Game
seen
on.
him play a fair bit of darts here this year. He's made a Champions Night. He's made multiple Saturdays.
97.
But at no point this year have I seen him look so assured with what he's using. He has tried
62.
different stems, different flights, different length of point. At no point this week has he changed a single thing, because I have a sneaky suspicion that this
60.
formula, he really likes it, and I like the look of it.
Yeah, good point. Well made. He really did experiment last time he was here.
140.
And one of the famous lines from Jack Nicholson's Joker stint with Michael Keaton as Batman, Ricky McDowell brings it up in our chat.
139.
Where does he get those wonderful toys? Well, a dart player only needs 3 toys. Dart 1, Dart 2, and Dart 3.
140. Alec, you require 160.
No zip wires. No crazy stuff on a belt.
45.
No flying thing that
John,
looks
you
like a
require
bat.
104.
All John needs is 104 in 3 darts for a lead.
Yeah, that would be some entry into a dart match, though, isn't it? Coming in via zip wire.
56. Alec, you require 115.
That's no help.
31.
I can imagine John O'Shea doing that.
John, you require 48.
I can imagine John O'Shea doing a lot of things. Double top.
Game shot on a third leg.
You don't
John
need a great
O'Shea.
imagination to see that one. But John is doing it.
Fourth leg. It's Alec to throw first. Game
And he
on.
doesn't want to do it for free.
100.
The closer this match is, the worse it is for Small, because his leg difference is drastically different to anybody else in this group. He's at
96.
-8 as it stands. O'Shea is at +3. And with minimal games left,
60.
it's looking increasingly unlikely that Alec is going to mosey his way into that third spot.
$84.
Yeah, and that reaction there from John O'Shea is living every dart.
55.
Apparently one of our dart players from this week, and namely one of our most successful dart players here, the defending champion, was in the local dart shop today buying something. What did he forget?
40.
Or what did he need to replace? It is quite a handy thing to have just down the road. That if you have forgotten something, there is a pretty neat dart shop here in Portsmouth.
134.
Just in case.
Happens to the best of us. I've done that mid-match. Just left everything on the table. Broke a stem.
60.
Have you ever
Alec,
forgotten
require
something that you couldn't
152.
replace?
I lost a dart, didn't I? I played with an odd set for
64.
15 years. To this, just couldn't. I got it duplicated and made another set. Just didn't feel the same.
But you use 3 identical darts now.
Yeah, now I do.
121.
You look almost disappointed about that.
Alec, you require 88.
Let's see if Alec is disappointed.
Game shot
Absolutely
on the
not.
fourth flag. Alec Small.
Definitive in taking out 88 and 2 there, causing more issues for O'Shea
Fifth leg, it's John to throw first.
This is turning into one of the
Game
most
on.
competitive nights of darts that we've had on a Friday. We've played every leg bar one. That is possible. I once forgot something when I went to Barnsley for a double header. I once took 2 odd shoes. And I said, there's no way
81.
I'm walking into the Metrodome with 2 odd shoes on. I will never live it down. So I went to the local budget shoe shop and thought, well, these will do for the weekend. And my good old
59.
friend Martin Turner noticed, they're not your usual shoes, Nico. And I had to tell him the story. He told
97.
everybody.
Who needs enemies?
He told everyone.
I think I'd do the same, though, to be honest. Yeah, you confide in me, that's fine. Oh, no, it's too funny.
120.
That's not funny. He might be the joker, but he's not seeing the funny side of that at all.
60.
Nice recovery, though.
105.
For a second, I was wondering what he was going to do with Dart 3. Many people would have gone to the 18s, but
137.
he recognises that 160 is
Require
easier than
160.
167.
It's the target you throw at the most often. But that's a real blocker. And I think he's going to try and force a way through.
Well, what do you do here? At worst, he wants to leave 100.
58.
But he was almost
Alec, you require
forced
126.
to do something else. Bullseye.
101. John, you require 102.
He's causing so much in the way of problems for these players tonight. Can John O'Shea defend?
70.
So close.
Alec, you require 25.
They are playing a very different player tonight, but this has just got tricky. That leaves 7.
21.
He made that very awkward for
John, you
himself, getting
require
the double
32.
9. So John maybe getting away with it slightly here. Yeah, and
Yeah,
does.
John, the
3-2.
fifth
It's a
flag,
hold
John
of throw for John
O'Shea.
O'Shea. And look at that reaction. I think he felt he should have got it the time before.
Sixth flag. It's Alec to throw first. Game on.
Can you imagine getting on John O'Shea's bad side?
I don't want to.
I don't want to either.
57.
He'd have to catch me first.
Yeah, I think that would be okay.
100.
I'll just keep him on my good side forever.
100.
He's a family man, is John. A doting dad. I'm sure Team O'Shea are biting whatever is left of their fingernails here this
60.
evening.
Yeah, I guess I've experienced it from all different angles.
58.
Watching my partner play, playing myself, and obviously up here in the commentary box as well. And I have to say, hand on heart, the hardest thing to do is to watch a loved one play up on the stage.
100.
I once saw Karolina Podgorska playing at Lakeside,
56.
and her partner, Krzysztof Ratajski, was in the crowd, and he was the most nervous person in the building. And when he plays darts, he's like ice.
123.
But watching, it's like he's on skates.
I think she played Trina in that opening round.
60. John, you require 118.
This 118 is to dispose of Alex Small. At least it was.
$48.
But this would be some way
Alec,
to
you
keep
require
yourself in the race, but only
170.
just. Bullseye. Oh,
Game
he's done
John,
it.
a sixth flag. Alex
What's
Small.
happening tonight? That's the second 170 of the day. We had one from Rhys Robinson earlier.
7
And now
from
John
final
O'Shea
leg. It's
has
John
got to try and
throw
serve
first.
this out.
Game
He
on.
refuses to go without a fight. The big lad from Wales. Bravo.
Yeah, top stuff there from Alec Small. I was just looking down, and as soon as that second dart went in, I think John was heading to the table to take a big gulp of water.
100.
I'd love to know what he thought of that. Because he was sitting very pretty, wasn't he?
Oh, he was indeed. I imagine, like all dart players, you've got admiration for anyone that takes up that kind of shot under that kind of pressure, but you'd also be thinking, really? Against me right now? Thanks a lot.
85.
And for the 4th time from 5 games, we go the distance.
60.
John won 3 games from 4 in his first day in Group B.
41.
The best he could do would be 10 points if he loses this leg. But 10 points is enough to get through.
100.
But if he loses leg 7 in this match, he might have to beat Tommy Morris and
45.
John Henderson.
John, you require 144.
So to do himself a very big favour, one more.
140.
That's interesting.
Yeah, leaves him on 4, but is that the right decision with Alec back on 230?
60.
Well, this is to answer the
John,
question
you require
of
4.
who likes double 2? John does.
Shot and the match. John O'Shea.
He wins by 4 legs to 3. And Alex Small's ambitions of winning 8 points tonight and squeaking his way through to Saturday, they have been extinguished because he is not going to get through this group now. It was a fine performance from the Welshman, but John O'Shea was too good in the end in having the darts and finishing the match in 17 darts in that last leg. It was a strong showing, and John O'Shea is back into the promotional spots. He's in second, and we're going to take a short break now, but when we come back, we will iron out the creases and dot the I's and cross the T's after what's been a fabulous first half of the evening.
Welcome to the party in Portsmouth here at the Modus Live Lounge.
They've both got the talent where they just reel off leg after leg and dish out a heavy defeat. And what a way to start the day. We're up and running here on Champions Week with a maximum.
Well, what a way to finish. A 12-dart leg.
Beautiful check out there from Cam Crabtree. Only needs the one.
Game shot on the second leg. Darius
What were you saying about efficiency?
Game shot on the third leg. Reece
Is that
Robinson.
the moment that Reece Robinson comes alive in this crucial clash? Looks like he's going to go for it. And it is right next to his favourite double top. And he gets the job done at the earliest possibility. That is Cam Crabtree through.
Case not so. Harrison gets the all-important win.
Game shot on the second leg. Darius Labanowski. Game shot.
Well, Smith, is it
Darius
a
Labanowski.
9? A long time. And that clenched fist.
Game shot on the match.
He gets the job done in the end. He's nodding in total agreement because
Game shot on the fourth flag.
Just like
Darius
that.
Labanowski.
he needs the one. There you can see.
That she can unlock at any moment, but that is quality from Harrison. This would be a wake-up.
Welcome to the party in Pompey. Should be a good marker for him, and is. It was a great guide.
Shot on the first leg. Andreas Harrison.
It's a breaker throw for Andreas Harrison.
Shot on the second leg. Cam Crabtree.
Consecutive breaker throw, double 16 is found.
And he does lead. It's not an 11, but it's a beautiful 12, treble 17, which he gets. Bullseye for the win. Absolutely incredible by Andreas Harrison.
He's Andreas Dirty Harrison!
If you like close games, you've come to the right place, because out of 5 games tonight, we have had 4 4-3s and a 4-2. That could have easily been a 4-3. This is what we've seen so far, Laura. Everything going with throw, but that doesn't really tell an easy story, does it?
No, it really doesn't. I mean, you look at it on paper and it kind of just seems like, oh yeah, everything's business as usual. No, I feel like I need to lie down. I don't know how you feel, but it's just been absolute whirlwind. The players have really, really brought it to the fore tonight, and it's been very exciting. And the table, I mean, it's just chopping and changing all the time. I still don't know who the top 3 are going to be.
It's very difficult to pick somebody out of the first 5 matches of this evening's play, but what's really stood out for you in the first 5 matches?
I think actually it's Alec. You know, he came here, he must have had a disappointment yesterday, obviously lost the 4, had the pep talk from Ross Montgomery out the back, and came here, and we did say that he could be a spoiler. Obviously he wasn't out of the race, but it was difficult. Got that first win, narrowly missed out on the last one there as well against John O'Shea, but the 170 checkout was absolutely sublime. Just couldn't quite cross the line, but for me, he's really stepped it up.
Is it as a result of that chat with Ross Montgomery, or is this what he's always been capable of? He just had a bad day yesterday.
I genuinely think, I don't think having a conversation with fellow dart players, hurts at all. I think it can boost your confidence, but until you get up there and actually do it and perform like you can, which is what he's now done tonight, that's when it kind of builds and builds up on the stage. So probably a combination of both.
Tommy Morris and John Henderson so far tonight. Do you think Tommy Morris wants to see the back of Hendo somehow? Because this week against him, it's like he is not knocking his head against the wall and just not getting any results.
It's definitely the Achilles heel, isn't he, for Tommy Morris? Yeah, I think it'd be interesting to see if they can both make it through to tomorrow, if he can finally get that win. But he's come so close. I mean, I think, did we be saying that nearly all of them have gone to 4-3? So he's just being pipped at the wrong time, but up and down for both of them. But I like the way that after the defeat, Hendo came back and was much stronger in his second match.
Well, let's have a look at the table, because we've seen the results so far. It's still very close. Obviously, Alex Small is not going to qualify now, but John Henderson, who plays in our next match, if he wins that match, he will qualify, because getting to 10 points is going to be a guarantee of Saturday night darts here this week. Tommy Morris has not changed position. He is still in 3rd, but only just over Ross Montgomery. Things are getting very interesting.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, it's the same order as what we saw when we started this morning. We're still kind of none the wiser, apart from the definitive knowledge that Alec can't actually make it. But yeah, it's everyone's beating everyone, and I still think that more of the same is going to happen. So, I mean, I just can't call it.
We don't have to at this stage.
Good.
So we've still got 5 matches to go. But if we'll take a little break away from what we've got coming for tonight, let's look ahead to next week, because week 4 is going to be a very competitive one as well. What we have to say at this point is that Daryl Fitton in Group B has had to withdraw, and we have replaced him with local boy Charlie Large, who has been to a Saturday night before. So we have somebody there, Laura, who could potentially bring a lot of fans to a Saturday night. We'll get into that in due course. But you've got the likes of Jimmy Van Schie, Jerome Mioch, qualifiers from the ADC Europe category as well. Shane McGurk is back with his ever-present dart case on display. Andy Davidson, the winner of Week 11 in the previous series. Is there anybody else there that takes your fancy?
Yeah, also you've got Mark, Group B as well. You've got Mark Dubbridge coming in, Reece Colley, he's made finals night on a few occasions. Greg, I could name them all, and I think it's interesting to see how Bav does when he comes back down as well in Group C. But Andy Davidson, I think in Group A, he's one of those ones that he's really stood out. He's an ADC qualifier from previous, and he made an instant impact when he came here. So I'm hoping he can do more of the same.
Everybody's going to get their moment next week, I'm sure. But I think everybody's been looking forward to one certain player coming back. So when it comes to week 4, one person is going to headline.
Oh, yeah, the scorpion kick's coming back. Watch out, opponents. Stand back. Because the last thing you want is a kick in the knees. But an all-Scottish battle. And now it's time for Hendo to have his first opportunity of making Saturday night in Week 3 in Series 8. Because if he wins this match, he's guaranteed to be there on Saturday with Rhys Robinson, with Richard Rowlands and Andreas Harrison. Ross Montgomery has still got a lot to do, but if he wins against Hendo, getting his own back for a 4-2 loss last night, he will join O'Shea and Henderson on 8 points, and it will then be up to Tommy Morris to beat John O'Shea next, which could get him to 8, and then get your abacus out.
It's Ross to throw first. Game on.
In fairness, I'm going to leave the permutations up to you. I've decided I'm keeping up. I'm following, but I will say tonight it's been one of the tightest groups. I do still think it's going to come down to legs.
Can't beat a bit of Portsmouth delegation from Laura Turner, and we've got the boss on the stage as well. So maybe he's leaving it all up to us. But it's his job with the darts in this match to try and make things easier for himself when he plays Alec Small in Game 8. He finishes first, does Ross Montgomery.
98.
Has he got enough left in the tank to squeeze through to Saturday for the 3rd consecutive time and the 3rd consecutive series here in 2024?
134.
It poses that interesting question. We were kind of talking about it off air earlier in connection with Lee Cox and Richard Rowlands. Is it better to know what you need to do 94. As a dart player, or is it better to kind of play? If you play first, if you play before your opponent, you're so tight to you on the table, is that slightly easier?
97.
We saw, didn't we, this afternoon? Lee Cox played after Richard every single occasion, and you mentioned it yourself. You could see it physically on his face.
Yeah, I'm convinced that Lee's situation this afternoon was as a direct result of what happened before he even threw a dart.
59. John, you require 170.
That performance from Rowlands this afternoon, winning from 3-0 down against Niall Cullerton, that's where things changed.
13.
We'll talk about the intricacies of that come tomorrow night with Chris Murphy. John is not happy about something.
100. John, you require 157.
Somebody could go home here tonight on 8 points.
$101.
Ross Montgomery, who has had a stack
90.
of attempts at 80 tonight, is looking for something that could have 2 single 20s as well. But he doesn't need that now. He needs double 15. He can get past that. That could be a dream marker.
Game shot on the first leg. Ross Montgomery.
Called that. Yeah, really did use it. And we saw that yesterday from him with the 94 finish.
Second leg. It's
we
John
thought
to
the
throw
25
first.
could be a bit of a blocker,
Game
but
on.
he found a route through to the bullseye.
80.
John's working hard tonight, isn't he?
Yeah, and he just doesn't seem quite as kind of comfortable and relaxed as what we've seen him throughout the week. Not happy with something. Whether that's just
58.
the way he's feeling or just the way he's throwing. He's a very rhythmical player.
We always say no Hendo, no party, and it could be a fabulous Hendo weekendo.
85.
All of these little phrases that have been made up via certain darts commentators over the years. But do not think for 1 second that John's participation in Saturday night is
100.
guaranteed. Either Henderson, Montgomery, O'Shea or Morris, one of those players must go home tonight.
100.
Just because you have a slightly better CV, it doesn't guarantee you anything. And it's not as if John has got an easy route for the rest of the night. He's got Montgomery
85.
and O'Shea to come. The tighter this game is, whoever wins it,
100.
the more you're going to use the abacus later.
No, the more you're going to use the abacus later.
Sorry, I misspoke.
Yeah. Apart from anything,
40.
I mean, the quality
John, you
has
require
been
136.
exceptional throughout this Group B, but just the closeness of the group, it's remained very exciting throughout.
120.
Great attempt there from John. A much better leg than the first one. You don't really see him in this department very much. He's more of a 12s,
94.
tops, 10s kind of
John, you
guy.
require 16.
Occasionally on 18s. But he likes 4s.
Game shot on a second
Likes them even
leg,
more now.
John Henderson.
One thing we didn't discuss in our little
Third
break there,
leg,
Laura,
it's
is the
Ross
fact
to
that
throw
everybody's
first.
on 2 points for the
Game
night. This is as tight as it gets. In a nightly sense, never mind the group sense.
41.
And we've got people in Scotland tuning in tonight. Stephen from Galashiels on the borders. Beautiful part of the world.
125.
And Curtis in the chat's got the audacity to say that they will be skipping the Richie matches as his throw gives them the ick.
140.
How dare you? I'm going to tell Richie you said that.
Yeah, I don't think many people would.
90.
Not many people would agree. And in fairness, that back leg kick and that action of Richie's, it did create one of the funniest gifs when it was reused. The picture of him in so many different places. I remember seeing him ice
45.
skating through one picture.
Yeah, it did actually look at one point. It was from Minehead, right?
Yes.
It did look as if he was doing some sort of spin on the ice.
95.
Or what is called a Romanian deadlift. Where you have a weight in one hand, you balance on the other foot, and you bow over to try and exercise the glutes
83.
and the hamstrings. Not the kind of thing you would usually associate with a dart player, but one thing I'll say about Richie Burnett ahead of next week,
134.
he swims like a fish. He is an incredible swimmer.
Well, this could be some incredible pressure from Ross Montgomery.
127.
Just a loose last. So 57 here. Will be a break
John,
of
you
throw for
require
Henderson.
57.
Put him in a more comfortable position in the match.
Game shot on a
Well,
third
Hendo
leg,
breaks,
John Henderson.
and he tells leg 3 to get to. Can't say the next
flag,
word.
It's John to throw first.
But in
Game
Scottish, that means go away.
$85.
I think Hendo, if he wins this match, will be a very relieved man.
Yeah, he did get the victory yesterday over Ross Montgomery. I guess in Highlander terms,
60.
as the two Scots face off against each other once again, there can be only one.
If Hendo does win this, what's the right result for Montgomery in the next
60.
match? Is it an O'Shea win? I think it has to be. He wants O'Shea to get to 10 to keep Tommy Morris at 6.
45.
And then we could have that situation where Montgomery's biggest enemy is Alec Small. And if he beats him,
100.
he then wants Alec Small to do him a favour. Oh, the intricacies are so complicated. Who needs soap operas when you've got Group B?
Yeah, you mentioned an EastEnders Christmas special earlier. I'm waiting for the duff music to actually come in at the end of one of these matches. Feels like each one's leaving me on a bit of a cliffhanger because there's still so much more to unravel.
It's like one of those presents you get at Christmas.
121.
Open a box, there's another box inside. You open that box, there's another box inside, and so on and so on. You get something about the size of this place. It turns out to be a bag of Smarties.
43. John, you require 135.
This is working out really well for Hendo now.
95.
After losing the first leg and looking a bit weathered, things have got better. Hendo's average has climbed past 92 now. And this is fast becoming Ross Montgomery's
124.
worst performance
John, you
numerically.
require 40. Game shot on the
John
fourth
Henderson
leg.
is nearly
John
there.
Henderson.
There are 3 names in the hat for tomorrow night, or should I say,
Fifth leg.
tonight.
It's Ross to throw first.
Because
Game
Hendo
on.
wanted me to say this. Tonight is Saturday. He likes the Bay City Rollers. Isn't that right, John?
43.
You like that song, don't you?
So really, he should have a matching pair of tartan trousers on.
Absolutely. I would pay to see that.
I think he's missing a trick there.
60.
It is his wedding anniversary over the next couple of days. That was a great wedding. It was brilliant. It's also his
100.
lovely wife's birthday on Monday. But when it is John's birthday next year on May the 4th, somebody get him a Bay City Rollers outfit.
135.
We will make it happen.
And I think of that nice present that John can buy if he can lift the title on Saturday.
I did like the trousers he wore when he played at Aberdeen against MVG. They were fetching.
62.
Montgomery's made of tough stuff. He will not give up. But so far, this result is bad news. His leg difference is the worst of the 4 that can still qualify. He may just need a little bit of assistance from other quarters.
29.
In this leg, he's just got a bit of assistance there from John Henderson. 1, 2, 4, and he's got at least 6 darts from here. Would still need to find a breaker throw with John being 3-1 up.
56.
But you will say nothing has been particularly straightforward for any of these guys up there on the Oki tonight.
Oh no.
Ross requires 68.
That last start ensures that Ross has got 2 visits. He wants tops.
Game shot on the 5th leg. Ross Montgomery.
Well, one thing's for sure. If you've had a little wager tonight on games to go a minimum of 6 legs,
6th leg.
well
It's
done.
John to throw first.
It's happened every game. And remember, if you are having a flutter at this late hour, or wherever you are around the world, it's over 18s only.
58.
Please gamble responsibly, and for more information on safe gambling, begambleaware.org for all of the information you need.
$100.
Well, we saw the pair of these at this position, 3-2 in favour of Henderson. We saw this yesterday, and it was John Henderson that had the darts and held on for a 4-2 victory. As you were just saying that, I think every game's pretty much got 4-3 written all over it.
100.
Well, I've got no plans in the next couple of hours, so let's have as many legs as they want. But John's thinking, I only want to play one more leg in this match.
83.
To Ross's credit, he's stolen the darts via a ton and a maximum. His first of this contest and the only maximum of this contest.
137.
Yeah, we said he needed a break and he's put himself in a fabulous position. 84 after just 9. And Hendo, no real response here from him.
50. Ross should require 84.
Might go for treble 19 here. And the layup for tops. Because there's no reason to go bull there. The approach play and the way that people have gone for shots tonight has been so different to that of Group C over the last couple of days. It's been professional, it's been thought out, and there's been very little flair if it's not needed.
John,
what happens next?
110.
Henderson has got form for ton plus checkouts to steal matches this week. Can he do it again? Double 18.
Game shot.
No party.
John Henderson.
For Ross Montgomery right there, he's got a very tricky mission to find his way to Saturday now. But John Henderson is in Saturday night. He will have a crack for a second weekly title. And yet again, he steals a game with a ton plus checkout, his best of the match. And Montgomery will stay on 6 points. Henderson at the top on 10 is now the 4th name into Saturday night. And if you're coming here on Saturday night, you are going to see the man who is the world senior champion. When we come back, it's the turn of O'Shea to see if he can bank his place too. Next chapter could belong to the Joker because he could be the 5th name in the hat for Saturday night. Could it be at the expense of Tommy Morris, who has got 2 games to go? If he wins them both, He is going to make it. Will one win be enough? It may just be, you know, because Ross Montgomery in 4th position is in trouble now after that loss to Hendo. How big will that 110 checkout from Hendo be? As he has punched his ticket with a game to spare.
It's John to throw first. Game on.
Is it relief for Henderson that he's got it done with a game to spare?
Yeah, I think so, because I think he came out tonight and he just didn't look settled, just looked maybe a bit tense, maybe a bit fatigued. You just don't know. And as dart players, you're human beings at the end of the day. So different day, different darts. So I think to get over the line for the amount of work that he's put in over the last 5 days, it feels very, very justified. And as you say, I'm sure he'll be one very relieved man.
I'm not convinced that every dart player is human. I think there are some aliens out there for different reasons.
140.
They shall remain nameless.
90.
Well, I will say Luke Littler is out of this world at the moment.
Absolutely right.
60.
Still can't get over that line from last night. We stumbled upon it. The Premier League champion is going to make his match play debut.
80.
It doesn't make sense.
Well, it does under normal circumstances, but then you add in the kind of additional fact that it was Luke Littler that we were talking about, and he's only just picked up his tour card this year. That's where you go, wow. But just everything that he's won this year.
105.
Premier League.
John, you require 135.
Topping them all. Amazing so far. Can't wait to see what happens in the future.
What's going to happen here? Can you see the bull, John? Because we can. But there's a dart in the way. Do you even want to go for it?
110.
Oh, that would have been something special. But he has given Tommy Morris full respect here.
Yeah, there was a slight hesitation just because of that blocker. I think he was thinking of
91.
setting up.
John, you require 25.
88.
9.
He goes the wrong side of it, and Tommy Morris's
76.
prayers have been answered. He doesn't miss it.
Leg, Tommy Morris.
He desperately wants to make Saturday night to have his ravel of fans and family come here in about
Second leg, it's Tommy to throw first.
19 hours. Yes, you've got to do without darts for about 18 hours or so.
60.
There are people on the internet today saying, I can't believe that the group stage of the Euros is almost over. We might not get 3 games of football a day
96.
for a while. It's amazing what you get used to. But here's the thing about the Modus Super Series. If you love your darts, we're here every week. Double dose of darts every Thursday and Friday. Your finals on Saturday nights, and we give you Sunday to recover.
60.
And then we come back with fresh stuff on a Monday.
Yeah, it's proven to be a really, really watchable format and very competitive. The players absolutely rave about it.
Well, we have had a message in our chat from Niall Cullerton, who really was very good at times this week.
137.
A frustrating week for the Irishman. However, he has said, no Hendo, no party. If I may ask,
79.
Niall, are you sticking around for tomorrow night? I might have to grab a word with you if you've got a few minutes, if you're sticking around. I don't blame you if you're going home, by the way. I know you've got a life back over in Kilkenny, but if you're sticking around, come and say hi.
100. John,
Speaking of which,
74.
John O'Shea wants to say hello to his first leg. And if Niall's sticking around, he might want to support this guy, who is now drawn level.
Leg, John O'Shea.
Yeah, great response there from John O'Shea.
Third leg, it's John to throw
Now
first.
Back on throw. In that short race to 4 legs, you know, if you lose that opener, it's not the end of the world, but you're on the back foot instantly.
we have now passed the midnight hour, meaning that
96.
yesterday was the longest day of the year, which is roughly the halfway point.
45.
What has been the biggest story of the Modus Super Series this year for you?
For me personally, it's Bo. I think, making a debut here, winning so close,
81.
Champions Week, and coming here, Women's Week as well. I mean, that was a wonderful experience. It was the first time we'd had a whole week full of women. So I think that, but Bo for me has been just the outstanding performer. There's quite a lot I could actually mention as I'm talking. I'm thinking of a lot more things, but that was my gut reaction.
Honestly, she's the female darting equivalent of Leonardo da Vinci. Wherever she goes, she creates masterpieces. Here,
36.
Women's Series, Development Tour. She didn't just win a Development Tour title on Friday. She made the quarters of the other one. And in the one she won, she lost 5 legs.
100.
Yeah, not bad going, is it? It's just an absolute phenom.
140. John, you require 124.
That is a phenomenal visit, but it wasn't enough to get to a finish. He's going to lay up this time.
84.
The last time he was on that 135, he looked at the score and he went for the bull because Tommy was on a finish.
78.
This time not being on it
John, you require
forced John's hand.
And like you say, you can call it sensible play, you can call it what you want, but this is the respect
Yeah,
they've got
John
for each other, and
O'Shea.
that's the
John
outcome
O'Shea.
as John O'Shea doubles his leg tally in this match. And I think
flag.
the
It's
fact that
Tommy
we're not
to
going
throw
for the big
first.
flashy finishes just
Game on.
shows you how kind of tense and how much they're taking seriously this Group B.
140.
I'm starting to think that it's going to be the two Johns going through, and it's going to be a dogfight between Tommy the Gun and the Boss.
123.
Sounds like Snatch 2, the movie. Actually, the character in Snatch was John the Gun,
85.
wasn't he? Well, apparently Niall Cullerton has replied in the chat. In fact, he hasn't answered the question. He says he wouldn't mind a chat with me. I didn't ask that, Niall. I asked if you were coming tomorrow night.
36.
Tommy might be letting this game get away from him. And it may come down to him at the end of the night.
140.
If things are going the way that I think they are, if Montgomery beats Small in the next match, Morris might have to beat the same opponent
85.
if he
John, you
loses
require 98.
this match.
$82. Tommy, you require 155.
This would be something else. But it's not going to happen.
60. John, you require
John has spent
16.
so much time on double eight tonight. And this
Gets
time,
on the
it's a
four
beauty.
flag, John O'Shea.
And if you're keen to see John O'Shea, because he's within one
Fifth
leg
flag. It's John to throw
of
first.
making Saturday Night Darts
Game on.
again. And if you want to see Hendo and Harrison, Robinson, Rowlands, that QR code will get you to the ticket page to reserve your seat for Saturday night here.
100.
If you're not that far from Portsmouth and you know someone who wants to come, why don't you get them a surprise? It's only £2 to
60.
reserve your seat. Bring them down. Come to the intimate venue that is the Modus Super Series. And you can see a world master, potentially. A world senior champion.
100.
The Swedish average record holder from the European Tour, that is Andreas Harrison, looking for history on Saturday night to become one of the greatest players that has ever played here.
97.
Arguably, the greatest. I think Littler's probably got that still.
Yeah.
100.
No. But if he picks up a title in terms of weekly wins, he would hold that record.
100.
O'Shea's got this match in the palm of his hands. He needs 5 or 6 good darts, and he will be there.
99.
And his record of making Saturdays, which is immaculate, will stay
80.
intact.
John, you require 102.
Remember, this is only his 7th game of the week.
54.
Tommy's approaching
Tommy, you require 164.
the end of his 22nd.
Yeah.
So close to getting that second treble.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, very unlucky there
92.
for Tommy Morris. But massive chance here for O'Shea to book a place.
Game shot. And
The Joker's there.
John O'Shea.
And Tommy Morris, if he's going to join him, he's going to have to win his last match by the looks of it. But then again, there may be another scenario that could get him there. John O'Shea has been very, very good in this group. And even though he hasn't won all of his games tonight, he has put in some fabulous performances. That's what we have so far. Morris is still in a qualifying position, but please look at that leg difference as well as the points with Montgomery. They are dead level with 1 game to play each. Things are very tight. What we do know is that there's only 1 more spot to get. After the break, it's going to be Montgomery's turn to get closer. He must beat Alec Small by the looks of it. The plot is thickening here in Portsmouth, and it's about as thick as my Christmas gravy, so let's get on with it. So, Ross Montgomery, what you got left? Because you are going to be the first person to complete your quota here tonight, and this game could get you through. Can you set the total that Tommy Morris can't top? Because it's between you and the gun to see who gets the last spot. Alex Small is not going to qualify through this group. We've known that for a little bit of time now. But he has a huge say in who does. If he beats both Montgomery and Morris, it could come down to the smallest possible
First
margins.
Flag, it's Alec to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, this is another cracking start from Alex Small.
77.
Montgomery has qualified before through a Group B into a Saturday by one leg.
100.
That is very, very tight. But we have, in fact, had a closer scenario
96.
in a Group C in the last 6 weeks or so. I believe, off the top of my head, it was week 12 of Group C in Series 7. Chris Hurds qualified
85.
in second position because he had a better average than Ryan Finesse. They had the same points, the same leg difference, the same legs won. They won a game each against each other by the same margin. Easy to sit here and say that'll never happen again, but it probably will.
43. Alec, you require.
But Ross
88.
is playing his final game here, and in his last match, he looked like he was running out of gas.
32.
You got this feeling that Ross Montgomery may have regretted having that little pep talk with Alex Small.
95.
It's amazing
Alec,
when
you
that comes
require
back to bite you.
56.
Double top.
46.
He really is quick, isn't he?
Yeah, you think of the last game that we've got where Small takes on Morris. That is another match. Blink and you miss it.
140. Alec, you require 10.
2 5s. And Montgomery can consider
No score.
himself
Ross, you
so
require
fortunate to
38.
get this shot. Can he take advantage of it? Yes, he
Shot on
can.
the first leg, Ross Montgomery.
I'd go and buy a lottery ticket if I were you, Ross. How did he get
Second
away with
leg, It's
that?
Ross to throw first.
Yeah, and how important
Game
might
on.
that prove to be? In fairness, I was going to say, Ross has done that and allowed other people to step in. It hasn't
140.
necessarily always gone the way of the Scotsman. And he did manage to find a way to take advantage.
Well, have a career that spans
134.
25 years. And you are going to give a few legs away, but you're also going to get some. And if you're a great player, you're going to get more legs than you give.
100.
We have got some people watching from all around the world at this late hour in the UK.
140.
But if you're watching from somewhere like Melbourne, Australia, it's not that early. Thanks for getting in touch, Nick, in the chat. Melbourne, one of the premier cities on planet Earth.
140.
Selfishly speaking, because I used to live there and work there.
140.
Very much a
Ross,
darting
you
city.
require 121.
Hope you're enjoying the coverage, Nick. Well, Alex Small on 87 after 9. There's nothing wrong with his scoring in this match.
65.
Just see Ross Montgomery there
Alec,
chuckling
you
to himself.
require
It's not
87.
a sign of happiness from Ross there, I assure you. I think that's probably just this resignation. That's kind of how his games have gone tonight when it comes to the business
54.
end.
One good
Ross,
dart
you
out of 3 there for
require
Alec.
56.
And Montgomery could be 2-0 up, when in fact he could be 2-0 down.
$36.
Sometimes
Alec, you require
it just
33.
deserves a noise and not a word. Well, blow me down.
25.
Who goes 3 double 15? Alex Small
Ross,
does.
you require 20.
And that's why you shouldn't.
we have questioned some of his options and choices for finishing,
Game
but
shot
there's
on
no
the
question
second
in that.
leg,
And that is
Ross
2-0 to
Montgomery.
Ross Montgomery.
The table at the
Third
minute
leg, it's Alec to throw first.
is looking pretty good for
Game
Ross
on.
Montgomery. Provisionally, he is in a spot to qualify, but there's still a
41.
long way to go. Don't forget, it's not just about Montgomery and Morris trying to get that last spot. Game 9 between
95.
Henderson and O'Shea will be a shootout to see who wins the group.
100. $56.
Yeah, shake of the head there from Ross Montgomery. You just got to wonder how much more has he got left in the tank.
134.
Alec just looks like a completely different player from what we saw yesterday.
He's played some good stuff tonight. 88 average in his first game. Winning by 4 legs to 3 against Hendo. And at that point, we were worried about John. He's now through. He's bounced back well.
140.
Small's next match, 81 average, but he lost 4-3 to O'Shea. He has caused problems for everybody he's played tonight.
100.
Marvellous starts from the former Scotland captain.
Alec, you require 86.
Is it a bull?
61.
I was going to say,
Ross,
is
you
it a bird, is it a
require
plane?
70.
It's none of them.
It wasn't far off the target, but again, Ross Montgomery with an additional chance. Needs tops. Double 10. Yeah, and does find the
Game shot on the
target.
third
That's great
leg,
finishing
Ross
there from Ross
Montgomery.
Montgomery. It's 3-0 in a match where Alec has had darts in every single leg.
Fourth flag. It's Ross to throw first. Game on.
This is a situation of nightmare proportions for Tommy Morris.
45.
Now what we're going to do is look at the possibility that Ross Montgomery
50.
could win this game 4-0 and be very, very close to qualifying. But as we said before this match started, Montgomery had the same amount of points as Tommy.
55.
The same leg difference. And the same legs won.
Yeah, but as you say, if he can find a way of winning this and not dropping a leg, that swing will be very favourable towards Ross Montgomery.
$94. 86.
Someone in our chat is asking if this is heading to the latest ever finish. We don't care.
100.
I remember when Richie Burnett won the Sporty Stuff Trophy in Southampton. That was about 3 o'clock in the morning. This is nothing.
57.
Yeah, we're quite hardened to this kind of late night action. We are here for the long haul.
Yeah, just keep on trucking. Or just keep on darting. Where has he found this from? This is a typical Montgomery performance. Now, we will have to double check to see the situation for Montgomery. If he finds this 70 checkout, I don't think he's safe.
50.
But he has almost done
Alec, you require
everything he can.
150.
Before this match started, there was a dream scenario for him to win 4-0. Not the time. But if you're Ross Montgomery,
75.
you
Ross,
loved
require
seeing that.
20.
Double 10. Three match darts have been missed.
16.
And
Alec,
here's
you
the
require
thing.
75.
We don't know how valuable this could be for Tommy.
35. Ross, you require 4.
Without hesitation, he's on 2s.
Game shot and the match.
He has done
Ross
everything he can. And now, Tommy Morris will get some communication and he will be told what he has to do against Alex Small in Game 10. It's our first 4-0 of the night, and Ross Montgomery is very, very happy about it. But when we come back, it is a fight to see who wins the group between John Henderson and John O'Shea. What an exciting night this has been. And now we will take a bit of a break from the excitement of the chasing pack because these two are safe and the aura around them is very calm all of a sudden. It's all very zen. I think John Henderson might have said in the ear of John O'Shea there, want to play some darts on Saturday night? Yeah, why not? Why not? Want to play for a few quid? Why not indeed? They're both coming back, and I hope you're going to join us to see these two juggernauts of darts from across the Irish Sea, and they might even collide in the very final game.
It's John Henderson to throw first. Game on.
But this is their final game of this group, a successful group. But who is going to win the group?
100.
They've got something in common tonight. They've both won 11 legs.
83.
They both won 3 in their first game and 4 in the next 2. It's like they're following each other.
It was John O'Shea who
40.
ran out a 4-3 victor yesterday. It was a very tight match, but we were quite impressed, weren't we, with John, of how strong he came out, considering he hadn't been playing all week.
100.
He's obviously in good nick. And that's testament to him because Some dart players, when they're not involved in Challenge Tour action
50.
or Modus Super Series or constant tournament play, it's easy to get lazy. But obviously O'Shea
46.
is not that person. John Henderson, however, said something really funny earlier in the week.
45.
He said, I might have to get my tour card back to get a break.
Yeah, well, it kind of goes back to what we were saying. If you start losing early on those on the Pro Tour, you don't get a lot of match play. Whereas things like this and the Challenge Tour, you do get the opportunity to play a lot of darts.
I saw Andy Bolton at the airport about 10 days ago before we went to
Johnny require 132.
He said, it's incredible how much luggage I've got in my car. Going from place to place, Challenge Tour to Pro Tour, to Super Series, to other things, to ADC.
100.
You live in transit.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, that kind of goes back to what we were saying about, just being able to have a comfortable night and a good night's sleep. It doesn't work for everyone. But John O'Shea here looking for an early break. Back on double 16 and finds the target.
First leg, John O'Shea.
I'm starting to think this is the best that John O'Shea has played down here.
Second leg.
He's
John
not
O'Shea
playing to the level that
first.
we've seen from Hendo at
Game
times
on.
this week. He's not playing to the level of Andreas Harrison. But the foundations are good.
57.
Yeah, and it goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Just the fact that he's not changing his flights, changing his stems, longer points. He's sticking with the equipment, which makes you feel he's comfortable.
108.
John Henderson showing us more of what he's shown all week. First 180 goes his way.
140.
Darts is a very fickle beast, isn't it? Because in the women's week that we had just a few weeks ago that you played in, Laura, so many people said, well, it's going to be Fallon or Bo winning it, isn't it? You can say this week,
134.
it's going to be Andreas Harrison, isn't it? It's never that easy. It's never that easy.
81.
No, not at all. And it was
Johnny
great to see
require
Rhiannon O'Sullivan lift that women's series. That week hit the title. And she gets to come back
58.
and play in the one of the main weeks.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing her back.
I imagine a few of the other players won't be looking forward to being on their week.
47. Johnny require 112.
Treble 20 for double 16. It's on the menu.
80.
Placed the
Johnny
wrong order.
require 152.
Yeah, I think he's getting a bit frustrated with that 32. He's just not finding it first start of asking.
Can John find it?
120.
Same result.
Johnny require 32.
Somebody has put a goalkeeper in front of 32. And if they have, sign him up. He's obviously very good.
No score.
Or should I say, they
Johnny
are very
require
good.
32.
It might be Mary Earps. Two fours.
Game shot on a
He's
second
definitely
leg.
better on
John
fours
Henderson.
than 16s and 8s.
He's got those doubles that he likes, doesn't he?
It's amazing to
Third
me
leg. It's John Henderson to throw first.
because I think there are
Game
two solid game plans when it comes to finishing. 16s and 8s
97.
or 12s, tops and 10s. There are doubles that seem to work for two different types of dart players. If you like tops,
140.
you like 12s, 10s and 4s. If you like 16s, you're very much a 16s and 8s person and you don't spend a lot of time on anything else.
78.
You don't find many people who like tops and 16s.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of tops. I like 16s, I like 10s.
59.
I'm with you there, Laura.
for me, it's getting that level right with tops. If you can find that, then yeah, I think you're going to have a good day on the hockey.
96.
But if you were going to have a Super Series player to hit tops to save the planet,
50.
who would it be?
Robert Thornton. Without hesitation.
He's definitely the best top setter I've ever seen.
Though to be fair, Hendo's been rather decent on that tops
85.
target this week.
John's been pretty good on the other one, the 16s and 8s routine.
60. John, you require 145.
Oh, he did not like that visit. He wants to top the table, you know.
Oh, he does.
John O'Shea wants to top the table.
60.
And John O'Shea does not like being on 192.
40. John, you require 85.
Is it tops? Yes, it is.
Game
And it
shot
is a
on the third
2-1
leg,
advantage
John
for Hendo
Henderson.
in the John Derby.
Fourth
Probably
flag,
have
it's John O'Shea to throw
just
first.
a week of just
Game on.
players named John.
Oh, give the referee a
Oh,
chance.
that would be brilliant.
So if it's going to be a Group
26.
A with 6 Johns,
John Part.
okay, John Port, John Henderson, John O'Shea, John Worsley.
We could fly over John Norman.
140.
With John Part.
So we need one more John.
John Boy Walton.
182.
And that is the 180th. 180. It's been a good week for them, but not
60.
tonight. Nobody has hit more than 1 in a match. We've had people
93.
hit more than 1 collectively, but as far as a single player hitting more than 1 in a match, it has not happened.
30.
We have these sheets next to us where we can collate all the numbers. And the 180 column looks like binary code. Zeros and ones everywhere.
0011011.
128.
Same to you.
I'm sure that's something out of Futurama. Yeah, not to bring it back to the John conversation, but I did have a bit of a
John, you
steward's
require
inquiry from the other
74.
half when we were talking about just as John O'Shea once again misses the 32 target, but does
Game
find
shot on
it
the
this
fourth flag,
time.
John O'Shea.
Yeah, a bit of a steward's inquiry with the Johns. We were talking about Joker nicknames.
Fifth flag,
found-
it's John Henderson to throw first.
Obviously, John O'Shea,
Game on.
Jose Justisa. There's one more. I think I've given you a clue as to the first name.
John Farrell.
140.
A good player. Played in some big tournaments. From a wonderful place as well. Royal Tunbridge Wells.
100.
Fabulous town. Very expensive. Anything with the word Royal in front. At 100 grand.
81.
If you want to live there, by the way. And that's just for a week. Mindless fact about Royal Tunbridge Wells, in fact, that
60.
town housed Queen Elizabeth II's favourite jeweller. That's a true story. If you wanted to go in there, you needed to get past the security guard first.
Well, yeah, quite. I guess that's the benefits of having Royal in front of your name. You get all the kind of
100.
royal visitors coming to you.
I wouldn't know. I can see Hendo getting some sort of accolade in the future.
100.
But he's got his own accolades. He's a world champion twice over. World Cup winner. World senior champion.
57.
Apparently he only wins titles these
John, you
days with the word
require
world in
80.
it. Snob.
Well, he's on course to put a bit of pressure on the former
40.
world master in John O'Shea.
Very nice. And they do have something in common, don't they? They've both won at the tavern.
100. John, you require 40. Game shot on the fifth
There we go.
flag.
John Henderson leads in the race for the top spot in the group. Yeah, there aren't
Sixth
many
flag.
people
It's John O'Shea to
who
throw
have
first.
won at the Circus Tavern.
Game on.
Thinking of anyone in particular? Anyone else to
Yeah,
add
I was
to the
thinking of
list?
Dennis Priestley.
60.
Dennis Priestley. We're going to go chronological here, aren't we? Priestley, Taylor, Part,
100.
Barneveld, yours truly, Lisa Ashton,
121.
John O'Shea, John Henderson,
Oh, I was going to go in as well with Keen Barry.
Keen Barry,
140.
Katie Sheldon won the girls. That's right.
We were there that year, weren't we?
I think Bob Anderson might have won a seniors event there at some point as well. League of
100.
Legends.
Yeah, he did. And he also won Best Ever Walk On. Sorry for anyone who likes their walk on, but anyone that walks on with a horse.
It'll never happen again.
123.
Oh, that was different. I don't even think he was going for that, you know. That might be the best setup for a 138 we've ever seen.
Yeah, Hendo's all smiles, but
60. John, you
John
require
O'Shea, very serious.
138.
Why so serious? Needs a 60 to leave tops.
58.
I thought he had it there.
John, you require 160.
Well, let's see if he gets 80. And if he does, the World Senior Champion will be the king
60.
of the Group B castle.
John, you require 80.
Another single.
60.
We could be going the
John, you
distance
require
after all.
100.
yeah, John O'Shea is going to want this. Yeah, he's got choices. What's he thinking?
48-32. 60 double 10. A wing and a prayer.
He's moving around like he's looking for tops.
48. It was the right choice
84.
because it was probably the
John, you
only
require
chance he had
20.
to keep this match alive.
Game shot.
And it
on
was
the
his
mat.
last chance
John
because John Henderson has won Group B. He wins the face-off of the two Johns. And the Highlander at times tonight has been tested, but he has done his job and he will join the Joker in Saturday night. It could be those two battling it out for the big prize and the place into Champions Week. But in the face-off of the two Johns, it's Henderson who wins by 4 legs to 2. And now it's time to find out who joins them into Saturday night. Will it be Tommy Morris or will it be Ross Montgomery?
Hang on a minute.
Wow! Oh my God! Well, that's £100 down the drain already.
Itching to hit the 180.
He's gone for the maximum.
18 for the bull. Bull.
53.
No, he said bull. That's a great first start from Adam. Oh, look at this. He's going to leave Scapie.
Oh, can you believe it? That is unbelievable. Get match darts to put his team into the final. And through to the final they go. Charlie Murphy has hit the match-winning dart on both occasions. Number 4 for the title.
Game shot on the mat. show your appreciation for the winner of the Influencer Pairs event, George Scaife and Adam Lipscomb.
He seems to be out, that's what he is. Charlie Murphy. A couple more visits yet. We're not going to need that.
Bosh.
Pie Face is through.
And he's absolutely buzzing.
It was a game that Pie Face dominated throughout.
We're going to the last match of Group B into the early hours of Saturday morning. And for Tommy the Gun to get his way into Saturday night darts once again, it's a very tough task. He has a chance, but here is the tale of the tape. He is currently 4th in the table, 4 legs behind Ross Montgomery. He must beat Alec Small by 4 legs to 0. It's that simple. And he will get through by the finest of margins.
First leg, it's Tommy to throw first. Game on.
And make no mistake, he will know that.
80.
I just wonder, Tommy's obviously played all week and it comes down to just one game.
121.
What does that do to a player? I think Tommy should deal with it. But Alex has really upped his game tonight.
59.
Yeah, one thing's for sure. Tommy wants Alec to play the way he did against him on Thursday night.
60.
Because if he does, Tommy's got a great chance of getting a 4-0 victory.
Yeah, I agree. But even saying that, Alec did find a way of pouring a couple of legs in that match. He can't afford any mistakes, Tommy Morris.
Well, if this game's 4-0, or 4-1, 4-2 or 4-3, it's going to last about 25 seconds.
100.
One of the fastest games we could possibly give you here under this roof.
140.
I think the difference
Tommy
for me that Alec
164.
Yesterday felt almost, I mean, they're speedsters, we know that, but it felt more frantic. Today it feels
60.
much more controlled.
Alec,
Still pacey, but just a lot
105.
more control.
But who is going to have control?
48.
Montgomery
Tommy
is in the practice room
104.
right now, waiting to see if Alex Small can get one leg.
72.
And this could be that leg.
Alec, you require 57. Game shot on the first leg, Alec Small.
Ross Montgomery qualifies by the finest of margins once again. And Tommy
Second
knows
leg,
his
it's Alec
fate.
to throw first. Game on.
I think Tommy has played his best ever
100.
stuff here this week. But because he's been in the best Group A we've ever seen, in my
55.
opinion, and a very competitive Group B, he has found his way to not qualifying for Saturday night.
100.
And I get the feeling this game is about to go into fast forward.
Yeah, I agree.
125.
He's been very unlucky, as you say, especially his Group A campaign. Very, very solid, very competitive. Did well to find himself
140.
in Group B. Hindsight might say that he might have done better off in Group C.
95. Alec, you require 161.
It's funny how it works, isn't it?
87.
Retrospect or hindsight is a wonderful thing.
64.
But we can say hand
Alec,
on
you
heart.
require 74.
I think Tommy Morris would have qualified through Group C.
42. $84.
I don't think
Alec,
Tommy
you
is
require
angry right
32.
now. He'll just be disappointed.
Game shot on the second leg. Alex
He won't be
Small.
pleased that he's 2-0 down. But his position in the table is not going to
Third
change
leg.
come what
It's
may.
Tommy to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, that idea of feeling disappointed, it's almost like something your parents would tell you, isn't it? I'm not
90.
angry with you, I'm just very disappointed. It kind of hurts a bit more than being angry.
60.
Sounds like a line from The Big Bang Theory, that.
It does sound like it, but I promise it's not. But it is on pretty much that and Young Sheldon on
125.
loop in my household at times.
Ditto.
91.
Did you get the chicken and brown rice? Diced, not shredded.
It's when he comes back and he's just bought a
83.
job lot of the boxes just so that they think that it's the same company that you're buying the food from.
That was after his
140.
chair was hit with a paintball. I remember that one. Well, right now, Tommy's probably feeling like that cushion. But he hasn't got a green splat on his shirt.
No, and unfortunately it's Ross Montgomery that's got his spot.
How does he keep doing it? 3 times Ross Montgomery
56.
has squeezed
Tommy,
through
you
to
require
Saturday.
106.
I guess the challenge now for Ross is to actually take it forward. He hasn't actually managed to muster up a win on a Saturday
Alec, you
night.
require
That's the next step.
154.
It is. I wonder which group he's going to be in. We might just let the cat out of the bag
69.
by the end of the
Tommy,
night.
you require 28.
You'll have to stay tuned to get an exclusive on that one. Can Tommy get his first leg of
Game
this
shot on
last
the
game?
third
Yes, he
leg.
can.
Tommy Morris. 4th flag. It's Alec to throw first. Game on.
If I were Tommy's family, I'd get around him tomorrow and
57.
tell him how good he's been this week. Getting to Saturdays at the Modus Super Series is getting harder and harder and harder. But I assure you of this,
121.
he's getting better and better and better. And Alec has got better from last night
46.
to tonight and from Thursday. It just so happens he's been in one of the most stacked Group
95.
Bs that we can assemble. When he goes back to Wales, I implore him to get to a local competition next week, because look at what he's doing. A 174. And he has caused problems for everyone
99.
tonight.
Yeah, I think for Alec, he'll probably be scratching his head slightly as to think, why didn't I do this yesterday?
96.
But the fact that he's got that ability to come back and play at this level after the disappointment of losing 4 on the spin, yeah, it really is a testament to him and his
45. Alec, you
character
require
and his ability.
128.
I hope Ross Montgomery's got plenty of voicemail room on his phone, because I think
95.
people are going to call him up asking
Tommy,
for
you
pep
require
talks.
141.
Pep talks and probably advising him to perhaps have a little go on the lottery tomorrow.
105. Alec, you require
Well, this
33.
is said best in Scottish. 33.
Game shot on the 4th
And it's
flag.
3-1
Alec
to
Small.
the Welshman. He's like Salt Bay at the minute, just letting the salt fall into the wound.
5th flag. It's Tommy to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, I'm not sure. 33, is it said better by a Scotsman or better by an Irishman?
137.
I'm not going to have that argument with Hendo or John O'Shea or Ross Montgomery.
96. $42.
7.5 minutes. This is leg 5.
78.
Frighteningly quick stuff. And a pretty decent standard to boot.
59.
Morris, ridiculously, has got the better average by about 5 or 6 points.
Yeah, but it's those little points on the board that count. Alex is
96. Tommy, you require 90.
We're not going to win this one with Tommy Morris on 90. Hits the ball. Can't find top, so double 10. I think he thought that was in the way he
Alec,
lurched forward.
170.
How about Alex Small for another 170? Got one earlier in game number 5 against O'Shea.
41. Tommy, you require
Would have been
20.
a great way to sign off, wouldn't it?
I don't think Tommy wants to sign off with a loss. This double 10 was pesky to him earlier in the week.
Game shot on a 5th leg.
Search
Tommy
and ye
Morris.
shall find. He gets the double, but he's not going to get the W.
Yeah.
W that he wanted.
6th leg. It's Alec to throw first.
Alec now
Game
has
on.
the darts, but he could take the jam out of Tommy's donut.
100.
Oh, that's line of the week. I bow
100.
to thee. You should have saved that one for Saturday night.
I wanted to say it earlier because you started talking about snatch, but kind of the moment
80.
went.
You took the gem out of my donut, Tommy. He's definitely got those minerals.
26. $57.
If Alex Small was going to be a character in Snatch, which one would he
40.
be? Doug the Head?
100.
I don't know if I can win with this conversation at all.
Or maybe it'd be Gorgeous George.
I was thinking Gorgeous George.
121.
We've lost Gorgeous
Alec, you
George.
require 164.
But has Gorgeous George won the match?
96.
Starting to feel like Freddie Mercury. I'm going slightly mad. Oh, wonderful.
174.
Is the game
Alec, you
continuing
require
or is it
68.
over? The game's
Game
over.
shot on the match.
Alex Small does his job. And that is him signing off from the Modus Super Series for now. And the same goes for his opponent, who can't wait to leave the stage. I don't blame him whatsoever. An 86 average for Tommy was not good enough, but he needed to win every leg in that contest. And because he allowed Alex Small to take the first leg, that is what saw Ross Montgomery through to his 3rd consecutive Saturday night here in Portsmouth this season. We'll see the end of the show, and we might have some company at the end of the show when we return after this. Group B is done and dusted, and we have our champion from this group, and he's had a very long week, John Henderson. Congratulations. It has been a long week, but you have made it. You're back in Saturday night. How do you feel?
I must admit, it's been a long week, as you say, but it's been hard. We spoke to Tommy earlier on, and it was like, this could have been the Champions Week, if I'm being honest. The players are here, they're so good. It's been a hard fought week, but so glad to get through it.
What was the hardest day for you? Was it today?
Oh, massively. I couldn't find it today at all. I don't know if it was the heat. I've struggled. I've been doing all right with the weight loss and the sweats. I've been doing all right with that. Today, I found it hard. But no, I got over the line and I got through some tough games.
It's difficult to play early for the first 3 days, getting up at around 6 a.m., maybe 6:30, and then you have to wait around all day for Thursday and Friday and play this late. For the benefit of all of the people watching on YouTube, what's that like?
Oh, it is hard. It is hard getting up at stupid o'clock, up before the post is. But no, it is hard. But that's why we love coming to this Modus. If you're going to be involved with the 5 days, you've got to prepare yourself for that. And if you get through to the later stages, then you've got to come and play it late at night. So it's hard, but it's fantastic, and it's hard though.
Were you worried after losing your first match tonight, thinking that things were going to be a bit too tight for comfort?
Well, I lost my first game yesterday, and I thought, right, just play your own game. But as I say, I struggled all day today. I don't know why, but no, was I worried? Well, I don't know, but no, I got there in the end. And but yesterday was the same. Lost my first game, got my composure together, and did what I needed to do, and same again tonight.
What do you think, Laura, about the way John's played over the last couple of days? How much has he impressed you?
Yeah, very much so. I mean, your campaign, your A campaign was fantastic, but obviously Harrison was just a step too far on occasion early on. But I think just that you've maintained the consistency. For me, it's we said it all along that there's no Hendo, no party.
Well,
so we were all rooting for you, John.
I think we're trying to keep the Scotland in the Euros, and we're struggling for that. So hopefully we can get by that. So, but now you've got 2 Scots tomorrow night. So you never know. We could maybe rule the roost tomorrow night.
Well, let's have a look at the table and see how you've made it to the number 1 position, because you're the only player to make it to 12 points. At one point, we had 4 players on 6 points, and it was looking very tight. But that match at the end between you and John O'Shea made sure that you did finish at the top of the table. So John O'Shea gets second. Ross Montgomery has found his way through. So the breakdown that we have going into Saturday night is very interesting, because Andreas Harrison has won Group A. You've won Group B. Rhys Robinson has won Group C. So you've got 3 players there who have taken part in Group A, which you were in earlier in the week. So there's going to be some very familiar faces in the practice room come Saturday night.
It was, and I've got to say something about Tommy Morris. I think Tommy Morris has played absolutely outstanding that's all week, and for him to miss out, I feel for him. But no, you're right. Rhys he's been here, he's done it before. Andres is, I think everybody in Modus doesn't want to play Andres because he brings his A game to this Modus. But no, it's going to be another great night. I can't wait. I'm just glad to be in it, to be in the mix. So hopefully I can maybe just go one better than the last time I was here.
I haven't got many more questions for you, mate, but let's face it, we all want to know which group you're in for Saturday night. Do you want to know? Well, in fact, you don't have a choice. We're going to tell you anyway. So let's have a little look. It's going to be John Henderson, Rhys Robinson and Ross Montgomery. So it's England versus Scotland.
You could have kept the 2 Scots apart, but look at this. It's always going to be a hard one. Yes, I've avoided Andres, and I don't know if he's going to start favourite. He probably will, but no, it doesn't matter who you play. It's going to be a hard game, but hopefully I can bring my A game, and hopefully I can do well.
What are your thoughts on those groups, Laura? Which one sticks out for you?
I mean, they both do, don't they? Let's be honest. They're fiercely competitive. You have got the better of Ross a couple of times already this weekend as well. I think he's going to be gunning for you in that group. But yeah, it will just be really interesting. And it's kind of where you finish in those round robin stages as well to see those semi-final places. So whoever wins it out of those 6 will be thoroughly deserving of the title.
What's the plan on Saturday, John? Just going to chill on Saturday and make sure you got as much energy as possible for Saturday night?
Just normal for me. I approach every game the same. Scotland, and I play it Sunday, so I've got that. But no, I'll just get up tomorrow morning, just chill out. Will I have a practice tomorrow? Probably no. I'll get here early, prepare the way I've done it all week, and hopefully it goes my way.
Well, thanks for all the drama that you've given us over the last 5 days, John. There's one more coming, and thanks, Laura, for all of your company over the last couple of days. We'll see you on Saturday night, and hopefully we'll see you on Saturday night as well, because it has been a dramatic week 3, but week 3 is not over yet. The finals are coming your way from 7:30 on the Modus Super Series YouTube channel, and guess who's going to be there with Andreas Harrison and the rest? It's right, it's him, it's Hendo. Saturday night is coming. We hope we can see you then. Good night for now.